Nope. I grew up in northeastern Montana. I went to a 3-room grade school. So
Whoa.
I'm a little slow, coach.
That's where they invented computers, right?
I grew up in northeastern Montana. I went to a 3-room grade school. So I'm a little
Oh, had a little repeat there.
we're checking to see if we're recording.
Yeah, I had to mute the YouTube stuff. So well, we are connected to YouTube, and that is going. All right, we're about 2 minutes out, guys.
It's today the day you went to go get checked out for a brace?
Tomorrow. Yep. Yeah, I'll be home today.
This morning?
Yep.
You don't gotta go all the way back to the cities, do you?
No, no. It's not so close.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys are out and about. That probably ruined your week off.
I had to come back anyways.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are ready to begin, Rocky and Josh and everyone at Dakota State. So getting a few requests here on note takers, but well, we welcome our guests that'll be joining us today. We're going to be hearing from 7 of our football coaches and student athletes from their programs. I'm Commissioner of the Frontier Conference, Dr. Scott Crawford, and I'd like to first welcome our 7 new member schools to the Frontier Conference. We have 6 full member schools: Bellevue University, Bismarck State College, Dakota State University, Dickinson State University, Mayville State University, and Valley City State University. And our newest associate member, Simpson University, in Redding, California. And I couldn't be more pleased for this season to kick off, for us to have expanded to 12 member schools with our 5 associate members in football. We use the phrase fierce frontier for a reason, and I think we're a formidable frontier as well with our new membership and this expansion. I'd like to thank the members of the media who are joining us today, both on this Zoom as well as watching on YouTube. And we appreciate their coverage of the frontier, of our member schools, the incredible efforts of our student athletes, and all things Frontier Conference. I also want to take an opportunity to thank our sports information directors across the conference who work tirelessly to bring really some of the very best athletic content available within the NAIA. I very much appreciate our athletics directors, our FARs, and of course the Council of Presidents and Chancellors that serve as the governing body of the Frontier Conference, and we are proud members of the NAIA. I'm also grateful for our many corporate partners, and I'm grateful for the gentleman who will be emceeing today's event, Rocky Erickson, the voice of the Frontier Conference. And Rocky, welcome, and good to have you back with us today. I'd be remiss if I didn't wish you a happy birthday. I'll let you decide if you want to let us know how old you are, or I should say how young you are. but we very much appreciate all that you do with our FC update, with our media days, and just your love and passion for the Frontier Conference. So I'm going to turn the time over to you, Rocky, and away we go.
Well, Dr. Crawford, I am 65 years old today, and one of the birthdays I'm actually excited about because at 65, I can now play from the senior tees in Golf League. This is a big deal. Our East Division of the newly designed Frontier Conference football includes Dakota State, Dickinson State, Mayville State, Montana Tech, MSU Northern, Rocky Mountain College, and Valley City State. And we begin in Madison, South Dakota, with head coach Josh Anderson of Dakota State. And Coach, introduce us to the two players that you have with you today.
Well, on my right is Trey Heddick. He's our quarterback from the Selby area high school. And Taryn Sir is a middle linebacker from the Burke area. So happy to have these guys with us. Taryn's a senior, and Trey's going to be a junior this fall.
Coach, your thoughts on joining the Frontier Conference this year?
Honestly, it's very exciting. The Frontier Conference was difficult enough with the NSAA dissolving and having a spot for our universities to go to a very tough, very competitive, very well-known conference. It's exciting for us. The fact that we don't have to play teams twice in football, I think, is the thing that I am most excited about. I can't speak for everybody, but I know that a lot of people are very happy about not having to play teams twice. I think that's a good thing for the Frontier Conference as well. It's something they were looking forward to. So the fact that not only are we joining a well-established traditional conference, the fact is the schools in that conference are extremely competitive. That's the kind of level we want to be at and recognized as we move forward in the future as well.
Dakota State started the season last year 4-0. They've had 3 winning seasons in the last 4 years. Coach, tell us some of your top returning players and some of your new additions you're excited about.
Well, as far as the top returning players, honestly, I feel really good about all of them. I would imagine all head coaches do. So to just be fair and easy, I'm just going to speak on the returning all-conference athletes that we had last year. Just because we had a lot of guys put in a lot of time and effort in the spring, as well as this summer, to earn some good spots and made some big moves. And I don't want to leave anybody out. So I'm going to stick strictly with that. So offensively, Trey Heddick was a all-conference player for us last year at quarterback. And Tyler Jetlin will be a senior. He's an offensive lineman for us. He can play center. He can play tackle, but we have him at left guard for this season. And then Uziel Ruiz is another offensive lineman, big body right tackle for us. Again, can play guard or tackle, but we have him at right tackle. And then Malik Ford was a receiver for us and back in those positions. And he's multifunctional, can play on either side of the ball as far as like the X or the Z, as well as jumping him into the slot receiver. Defensively, Taryn Sir at middle linebacker. Caden Eng played free safety for us. He's going to be a senior. Davion Moses is going to be a senior. He was our lone first team All-American last year at corner. And then we got Brooks Jansen at defensive end, and he can also play some nose as needed. And then Caleb Dwyer also was an all-conference athlete for us last year at defensive end. And then our specialist returning is Carson Sauceda, was a kicker for us. He's got a big, strong leg, and we're excited to have him back, and he'll also be a senior. So we've got a good amount of returning all-conference athletes from the NSAA conference, as well as, like I said, a lot of guys who have made some really big moves this spring and this summer who are eager to showcase their skills and abilities.
Trey, tell us about the offense. What type of offense do you run there at Dakota State?
Yeah, so I think Coach Levy is setting a really good plan of what we are and who we want to be. We have good standards as, we want to run the ball first, but we're also a big play offense, in my opinion. We want to set things up with the run. We want to establish line of scrimmage, but, we're going to take plenty of shots down the field and try and hit our playmakers down the field. So,
Trey, what do you think about joining the new Frontier?
I'm excited. I think it's just it's an opportunity. Like, if you want to truly be the best of the best, you have to compete with the best. And I think that this conference really just gives us an opportunity to do that, see who we are and what we want to be if we want to be a playoff contender.
So when I get to announce a Dakota State TV game this fall, it's okay if I call you Hollywood, right?
I'm perfectly good with that.
Taryn, tell us about the defense.
Yeah, our defense, we're really set on just playing fast and being physical. We don't really make things too complicated. We just like to keep it simple. And our main thing is stop the run. We take real pride in stopping the run. Then everything just falls into place after that.
So, Coach, is there one game on the schedule that you're really looking forward to?
The first game, and it's our rival school. They're an hour away, Dakota Wesleyan. And that makes it even better, but quite honestly, just the first game so we can get started more than anything else.
The travel this year, going to Montana a couple of times, your thoughts on that?
Well, the travel this year, and that was obviously the biggest concern that we had. I'm sure other universities did as well, but joining the Frontier Conference, it's very well spread out, which is interesting. It's going to be really neat to go see different parts of the United States that none of us have ever been to, seeing different schools, different atmospheres, different fields. But we will be flying to Arizona Christian, so heading down to Glendale, Arizona, and that'll be our first game in this new conference. So not only joining the great conference, but then your first game, you're flying to play an opponent. So it's pretty exciting, pretty nerve-wracking. And as far as planning is concerned, the travel is always tricky. But then when you add airplane and check-in and IDs and all this other fun stuff with it, it's been a real pain in the rear end, but we'll get it figured out and it'll be a lot smoother as the years go. And then we'll be flying out to Montana Tech, extremely tough university in and of itself. And then I hear the environment out there is outrageous and exciting and loud. And we're flying out to them. And then the regular travel, we're going to be heading out to Dickinson and Mayville, but we've been doing that in the past. That's an easy travel setup for us, and we're experienced with how to handle that. So excited about, the following years. Southern Oregon is flying in to play us this year, and Rocky Mountain and Montana State Northern will be coming to play us this year, and then we'll be returning to their places next year. So we've got a lot in front of us, but just the cliche, we just got to take it one game at a time, not worry about the travel, not worry about the school, and just do the best we can wherever we're at.
Coach, when it comes to the travel, you have to fly out twice. How does that affect the athletic budget?
Oh, it's easy. We've got so much money here at Dakota State. We were just waiting for some way to spend our money, and so it was great. There's been a lot of movement. There's been a lot of sacrifices, a lot of unknowns. We didn't really get a budget per se because we really don't know what that looks like. So it's a matter of do what we need to do. Let's not do anything extravagant. Let's make the best decisions that we can. We want to do what's best for the team. And at the same time, we don't want to be eating at McDonald's every day when we're on the road. We want to eat well. We want to sleep well. We're not staying at Motel 6. And, we got to be very careful just where we're at with the budget and things like that. And like I said, it's one of those things where we'll take a look at it after the season to see if it was something that we can do better, or is there, did we do things right? Are we kind of on track with the kind of amount of money we're going to spend? But I would say that our business office and our president and our athletic department have done a fantastic job of looking ahead and planning and doing everything they can to not only take care of football, but the rest of our sports as well, so that we can be competitive and put our best foot forward. Just because we're flying to places to play some ball doesn't guarantee anything other than hopefully getting there in a timely manner and being well rested and doing the best we can on the day of competition.
Dr. Scott Crawford, any questions?
I would just like to hear Coach talk a little bit about their facility. I was able to go out there last year and watch a game. I saw them play Mayville. But the Brian Kern Family Stadium, it has to be one of the premier football facilities in the NAIA. And I'd love for you to just brag on that a little bit and talk a little bit about that, if you would.
I'd be happy to. I never get tired of taking anybody through the facility and showing them around and where things are. And inside the building, we're still not done yet. In fact, they're working on a lot of different rooms right now, finishing some things. So in the next couple of years, this building will be fully complete, but it is a great facility in and outside, inside, outside, it doesn't matter. It is phenomenal. Our boosters from Brian Kern, his family, Miles Beacom, First Premier Bank, Denny Sanford, First Premier Bank Card, our Trojan Athletic Club, the people of Madison, our alumni. I just hate to leave anybody out. There's so many people that were involved in this that made sure things were done at such a high class level. And our athletes have taken advantage of this as much as they can. The fact that our athletes can come in and have the locker room right there, the training room, the weight room, the offices are in the same facility. We walk out to 2 different turf fields. We really have no excuse not to get a good practice in every day unless it's lightning out. And so we're just very, very grateful. We know how lucky we are. Our retention has skyrocketed. Obviously, guys don't want to leave. So that increases with the development in the athletes. They're not being developed and then leaving after a year. And then the recruiting, we've actually had to turn people away. It's a good problem to have, but it's something that I think we'll have to just start getting used to and being picky with the kind of recruits we're going after, because when we bring teams up to prospect camps and team camps and athletes to these different camps too, the word of mouth has been really good. And obviously, we're very excited about the future using these facilities to help us have the kind of success we all want to have.
Any questions from the media?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, Coach, I'm Daniel Shepard. I'm with 406 Sports here in Helena, Montana. I was just curious. You're one of the only, I think, programs in that East Division that returns its starting quarterback, at least at the all conference level. Can you just talk about what that does for your team having that experience back?
Well, absolutely. Unfortunately, we only had Trey for 2.5 games. He got hurt, had a season-ending injury just before halftime of the 3rd game. And the NAIA rules state that if you play even one play in a 3rd game of the year, that counts as a season. And as unfortunate as that is, we're doing everything to try and get around that, see if we can't get him a year back. However, in that short amount of time, Trey was recognized as an all-conference athlete, as a quarterback, and I would say the team has been very well monitored to his progress, his surgery, his healing, his recovery, from the trainers to the strength staff to not only Trey himself, his family, the doctors, but obviously the team is very caring of anybody getting hurt, but especially a quarterback. It's such a crucial position for the entire team, and so Trey's done a great job. His attitude, as hurt physically and mentally as he was, has done a great job of being around and coaching and encouraging and leading, even when he couldn't be on the field. And that just speaks to his character, his family values, everything that he's about, and the Lord speaking through him and helping him do what's right, because it's very difficult to try and be happy and put on a smiley face and be encouraged when you can't be out there after all the time and effort that you've put in the off season. So having him back is going to be incredibly beneficial, not only to the team, but just to the psyche of the team as well.
Trey, maybe could you just talk about that, coming back off that injury, what that was like for you?
Yeah, so just getting injured, right? It was tough. I thought that, I was really excited going into the year about the team we had and what we did. And, when you get hurt, it's just the first thing is like you want to feel sorry yourself for the first week. But at that time too, we put so much effort into this team and had so much care about this team, and they really rallied behind me. And so, I just tried to do my best to help our backup quarterback at the time, which was AJ Donovan. And he did a really good job coming in as a freshman and leading the team. And I know the guys really rallied behind him. And now for me, it's just trying to do my part to get back on the field. Recovery is coming along really well. I'm, just trying to take it day by day and be ready to go for week 1. But, I know that the guys got my back and they know that I got theirs. So.
Could I ask you what that injury was, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so I tore my ACL and then I had a partial meniscus tear. I got that fixed in October, so hoping to be ready to go.
And Coach, could I get you mentioned 2 all-conference linemen, offensive linemen. Could I get their names from you again, if you don't mind?
Yeah, the 2 all-conference linemen are Uziel Ruiz and Tyler Jetland.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for the questions.
Any other questions from the media?
Rocky, I'm going to jump in and ask Coach another question. You know, one of the seems to be one of the strengths of this union of these 14 schools and going into these 7-team divisions. Talk a little bit about the automatic qualifier, having that second automatic qualifying berth, and potentially at-large berths. What does that do for your program and for your student athletes?
More than anything, I think it gives you hope. You don't have to be perfect. Obviously, running the table, going undefeated, you're automatically in. If you have one loss, is it in a non-conference game? Is it, in one of the crossover games, or is it in the conference, in the East Conference? And then with one loss, are you still in? Are you out? But having that leeway to give at least, hopefully, the top two, or at least two guaranteed schools from the conference, makes it less stressful. It doesn't change anybody's goals. Everybody's trying to be undefeated and conference champions, but it sure is nice to be able to have more than just one school come out of this conference. Is so deserving to have more than one guaranteed. And then hopefully there's some at-large schools, at least one, if not two more. So, there's an opportunity for at least 4 schools to come out of this entire conference and represent this conference in the NAIA in the postseason, which quite honestly should be the case. And so that's the thing that's the best part about this merge is adding those bids in multiple different sports. It's going to make things a lot better for all the teams. You get representation that you want in the playoffs.
Does anybody have anything else for Dakota State? Thank you, Coach. Players, appreciate it. Hollywood, stay healthy. All right.
Will do.
Hey,
Thank
good
you for
luck
your
this
time.
season.
Shit.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So Rocky, we're right on pace, and that was excellent. I'm looking to see if our next interview is here, and I don't see them. We did leave a 5-minute buffer in case we went a little bit long. So let's just hang tight until we see.
Scott, we're here.
Oh, you are here. Good. Perfect. Excellent. So Rocky, if you're ready, well, we got Rocky and Rocky talking to each other. This is a lot of fun. Rocky Erickson, when you're ready to go, please proceed.
Rocky Larson, head coach at Mayville State. And Coach, I got to ask you a question. Is that your real name?
That is my real name. I've never seen the movies, but it's my real name.
Well, guess what? It's my real name too, and that's a rarity because most everybody else named Rocky, it's a nickname, as you know.
Absolutely. No, my dad lost a state championship in his high school year, heavyweight, to a guy named Rocky, and said he was going to name his first son that. So love it, and nice to meet another Rocky. I think you were the first one I've ever met with the real name Rocky. So
my dad was a boxing fan, named me after Rocky Marciano.
awesome.
Coach, tell us who you have with you today.
Yeah, so to my left here, I have our wide receiver who played some tight end. We're converting him out more receiver this year, Kelby Azure, transfer from North Dakota State, from Hatton, Northwood, comes from a great family. And then to my right, Devin Woods comes to us from Shadow Ridge, a high school in Las Vegas, comes from an awesome family. Devin's going to be a senior for us, 4-year starter, and Kelby's going to be a junior for us. He's going into his 3rd year starting for us. So really proud of these two and everything they've done for our program. They're key cornerstones of who we are and who we want to be about. So lucky to have these two sit next to me.
Well, Coach Rocky, tell us your thoughts on being a part of the Frontier.
Yeah, we're really excited. Obviously a great conference and everything in football. I'll tell you, we're really looking forward to not having to play each other twice and playing the round robin schedule and being able to see some different faces. And we've talked a lot about the travel. and going to see different parts of the world. We're starting to book our flights out to Simpson and make sure we have all that done. And we have guys who've never flown before. We have guys who've never been to California, never been out of North Dakota. So it's a really cool learning experience along with the athletic experience that we get to put our kids through. And obviously, the SEC of the NAI, we're getting to play the best every single week. And we had to up our recruiting. We have to up everything we do and how we operate so we can be competitive in this conference. And Dr. Crawford's done an incredible job of getting us all on the same wavelength and a lot of meetings. But it's becoming real that we're getting to join this great league and really excited for it.
Coach, tell us about your team, some of your top returning players this season.
Yeah, top returning, obviously the two each side of me. We graduated 36 kids last year. I've been going into year 6 here, and that was our first big recruiting class, that COVID class. So, we graduated some of our high-end kids. So we're trying to retool. We're going to be playing some young kids. We got a 4-way battle going at quarterback right now, trying to figure out who that's going to be. Landon Olson, a running back. He's going to be a kid that's going to play a lot for us. Daniel Suda and Aaron Gilman on the offensive line, 2 kids that are high-level kids. Cam Spaeth at receiver. Defensively, Devin Woods, obviously, Anthony Johnson and Marcus Jones are top returners on that side. But when you lose 36 kids and some high-end kids who had all conference accolades and all that, we have a lot of kids who haven't played college football. They've been in the program, but they haven't been proven yet. So that's what this whole fall camp's about, is trying to prove and get to where we need to be.
Devin, tell me any differences between Las Vegas, Nevada, and Mayville, North Dakota?
Yeah, there's a big difference in the weather. Big change there. I always tell everybody you got to be ready to prepare for the cold, but it's my 4th year here and I'm still not used to it. So just got to bundle up.
Devin, tell me, what do you like best about this team?
About this team, I really like our ability to be able to create an environment where everybody enjoys playing football here. Everybody loves their teammates. We all love each other. And when we're on the field, we're all encouraging each other to, do our best, compete, give all out effort. And, it just creates an energy that, is really hard to break. So.
Kelby, tell me your thoughts about being at Mayville and the Frontier Conference this year.
Well, I love it. Coming from a Division I program to coming to here, there's not much of a change. Coach Larson has built a phenomenal program here, and then heading into the Frontier this year, it's just another stepping stone for Mayville State football. We get to play with the best every week, and we get to show that we belong here.
Coach, when you look at your schedule, are you really looking forward to any one game?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of them really looking forward to. And the first one being Simpson, the home or the opener to the league, and going out to California, and the amount of time and energy that we've put into planning that trip, to as the head coach and the travel coordinator and the athletic director all in one, making sure we get everything right and everyone gets fed and we get to play that game. And then Arizona Christian, bringing a school up from Arizona for our Farmers Bowl homecoming, 2 really exciting ones. And one of my good friends in this profession is Coach Stutz at Rocky Mountain, and being able to play them. And he's taught me so much about the game of football, and being able to go out to Billings and get a chance to play them. Really looking forward to that trip as well. So definitely excited for all the new opportunities and new challenges and different faces that we'll get to meet and see along the way.
You want to schedule Arizona Christian at home in late November.
We'd prefer it. Yeah, for sure. But we'll you're not safe September 27th or 28th, whatever date that is, here in Mayville. It snowed here that time of year in the past, so you never know.
Dr. Crawford, any questions?
Yes, Coach Larson, would you go over your any staff changes and just give you an opportunity to brag on your staff?
Yeah, and the big one, Kyle Otenero, our offensive line coach. He was with us for 4 years. Unbelievable person, unbelievable coach. Stepped away from us for a new opportunity. AI, so we had to make some changes. We hired Jack Mullen and Scott Olson as our co-offensive coordinators. Scott Olson was our defensive line coach last year. Jack Mullen, first time being an offensive coordinator. And those two are blending offenses and trying to get us to where we want to be. moving Nick Flesland, our special teams coordinator, over to coach that defensive line. And then fortunate to hire some recent graduates of ours, Tim Salmon, who was a great quarterback in the North Star for many years, 4-year starter for us. He's coming on to coach our quarterbacks. Tommy Enerson, who played linebacker for us, and Andrew Oates, who played offensive line for us, all get to join the coaching staff. So we're all set there, and I'm fortunate as the athletic director to have so many great coaches that if I have to step away, those guys can step in and run the program. So very fortunate for the guys I get to go to work with every day.
I'm going to follow up. Curious to hear from Kelby and Devin about which game on the schedule they're most looking forward to.
First, I would say for sure the Valley City game, of course, our rivals, we always go to battle with them, and it's always a fun game. It's just a great atmosphere to be in, and I'm excited for that one for sure.
Ready for the home opener on Thursday night. Just kick it off with these guys. New team. We get a kickoff at home under the lights, and no better place to do it than Mayville, North Dakota.
What do you know about Judson? I'm curious.
Not a lot, but we're worried about ourselves right now, preparing the best we can, do what we can, and control what we can control going into week 1.
Rocky, is that a return game or is that just a one-off?
That's a 1-year contract, new coaching staff, which is always fun to get a week 0 game with a brand new coaching staff. And I know they've signed a lot of really good transfers. They're all over, and new coach, I've gotten to know him pretty well. So that's a 1-year contract where they come up to Mayville, and fun to get an NAIA game that we haven't played before. So we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, well, I hope that's a foretelling in the future that you're able to get some of those one-off games and schools are going to come play you at your place.
Absolutely. Nope, it's awesome.
Any questions for Mayville State from the media? Devin, how do you best describe the defense?
Our defense, I would say we get after it every play. We want to make sure that we got all 11 hats to the ball. And the word I would describe it is aggressive. We just try to, do our best we can to stop the offense from doing anything that they want to do.
How do you best describe yourself as a player?
The same exact way. I feel like I fit very well into this defense. I try to play aggressive and win every rep, every play. And, I do my best to get to the ball all the time.
Coach, any Mayville traditions in football you'd like to share with us?
I think the big tradition is our Farmers Bowl, which has been a huge it's a game, but at the same time, it's a Farmers Bowl where we have a game that we recognize all the farmers. And Mayville's a small community with a lot of agriculture in the area, and a lot of our donors who keep us going and helping these two get some scholarship money are farmers. So we play a Farmers Bowl game where normally it's the last week of September, where hopefully the crops are out of the ground or it's rained so they can stop for 3 hours and come out to the game and we can celebrate them. And then they do a big corn feed, big hot dog feed, and it's just I think we had over 3,500 people at the game last year. So that's a big deal for us to celebrate our local history, and it's turned into a really cool tradition.
Well, that's pretty neat. That's
Hey,
coming
Rocky.
from a farm boy myself.
Rocky, we have Daniel Shepard with 406 Sports in Montana. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, Rocky. Yeah, Daniel Shepard here. You mentioned, wanting to retool, I guess, offensively, and you talked about the position battle at quarterback. Can you just kind of, I guess, specifically how you envision that going, and then what you want to see out of your eventual starter?
Yeah. Dylan Lamont is the incumbent who played for us last year when Tim Salmon got hurt. Aiden Markison has been in the program for 3 years. And then Edward Norton was transferred for us. He's been in the program a little bit. And then Matt Donovan comes to us. Don't know a ton about him yet. Obviously, still trying to figure out where he fits as we're just starting practice. But Scott Olson was on our staff last year. Lav was our D-line coach. But when we were looking for an offense coordinator, I wanted to change tempos a little bit, but I liked what we were doing. Jack Simmers back on offense. He's an electric kid who led us in rushing last year, who actually played some quarterback. And we'll probably see him play a little bit of quarterback again this year and some Wildcat stuff that we're going to do. But we're really just looking forward to whoever wins that quarterback job's got to be able to lead us on offense, be able to control different tempos that we want to play at, and not turn the football over. If we can do those things, the eventual winner of the quarterback job, if they can do those things, we'll be all right. So we're charting every day completions, passing percentage, interceptions, that type of stuff to figure out who that guy is going to be. And 3 days in, it's still wide open. And as long as we have someone by August 28th that's emerged, that's what we're hoping for.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach Larson, I asked Coach Anderson on the first interview we did with Dakota State a little bit about his impressions of the merger and the acquisition of 2 automatic berths into the NAI postseason and the potential for additional at-large berths. Would you speak from your point of view about that impact and how important that is for your program this year and into the future?
No question. I think that's one of the best things. That you've done a lot of great stuff, Dr. Crawford, but being able to get an East and West division in football was a huge piece of this whole puzzle that came together to give make sure we can get. And I think I heard Josh saying he's right. I mean, we should get 1, 2, 3 extra bids or at-large bids as we go with the teams we have, and we've watched film all summer, and there's some really good football teams in this league, and we're excited to get going. But it sounds different. We haven't talked a ton about. We're trying to get better every day. I mean, that's what it comes down to, and everything we're focused on right now is Judson. After Judson, we'll worry about Concordia Moorhead, and we'll continue to take it one game at a time. We talked about playoffs for about 30 seconds. The first team meeting and what a conference championship means. And then after that, we try not to talk about that in this program. We talk about attacking every day and getting better. But as a head football coach, having that, and if you run the table, you're into the conference or you're into the tournament, no matter what happens on the other side, that's a big deal. And it's a big credit to how this whole thing came together. So hats off to you, Dr. Crawford, and everyone who's worked on it.
I'm going to defer all those nice compliments, Rocky. It's been a great collaborative effort with you and many others within the conference to make all this work. And I appreciate all that you've done to contribute to that. I'm not the MC, but I will ask one more question, and then maybe Rocky will have one more for you all. But love to hear from Kelby and Devin about your coach. What is it that you like most about playing for Coach Larson?
He straight up tells you how it is. I love playing for a coach like that. He comes in every day, high energy, high vibrations, every day at practice, holds everyone to the highest standards, high accountability, and phenomenal guy. It's just awesome to come in every day, fall camp. He's just an amazing guy to come in and play for week in and week out.
Yeah, I would agree. Coach Rocky Larson, has high expectations for his players. And the thing I love about him most is he's going to give us all the opportunity and all the space to be able to, live up to those expectations. He's going to encourage us. He's going to talk to us. He's going to let us know, what we need to be doing. And, it just gives us opportunity. And that's the most important thing.
Well, I think you've described the Rocky Larson that I've gotten to know in the past couple of years. And Rocky, I'm doing everything I can to come be part of the Farmers Bowl. When you mentioned the corn feed, I think that was the final piece to get me there. So I'm doing my best to come experience that game with you all.
Put me down for that one as well. This has been a very confusing segment. Every time somebody says Rocky, I'm thinking they're asking me a question. Coach, players, Devin, Kelby, thank you so much for your time. We wish you the very best of luck. And Coach, I want to meet you someday. We got to get a picture taken together.
No question. Well, you're invited out here anytime, and I'm sure we'll hopefully run into each other when we come out your way. And I know Dr. Crawford's mixed us up on email a few times, so it's nice to finally put the face to some of those emails that Dr. Crawford has sent and understand the confusion.
Mayville State, best of luck this season. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, Rocky, we are on pace. Rocky Erickson, we're on pace. And I see our friends from Valley City. I see Dennis and his student
Is
athlete.
Dennis currently the president of the NAI Football Coaches Association? Is that correct?
No,
Or was that last year?
2 years ago,
2 years ago?
past president.
Past president.
And Dennis is the giver of wonderful bucket hats. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't have one.
We need to get you one. I have a very,
Rocky.
very cool.
It is your birthday today.
So Rocky, whenever you're ready to get going,
Okay.
you are more than welcome to proceed.
We're moving to Valley City, North Dakota, Valley City State University. And Coach, is it true that this is year number 28 for you at Valley City?
It's my 32nd year at Valley City State. My 29th as the head coach.
Wow. Congratulations. And in the world we live in today, that is a rarity.
Yeah.
And the 3 decades you've been at Valley City, congratulations. And how have you made that happen?
Some people say crazy, but it's really been when I came here. Probably like most college coaches, you thought you were gonna, we'd leave after a few years, one way or the other. You're either having a lot of success and you go somewhere, and you're not doing well enough, and they fire you. And what would happen is I fell in love with the area and my family. To be able to raise my 3 kids here, I think it just made a lot of sense, and we love the community and the university, and so it was a great fit for us, and giving me the opportunity to do what I love to do is coach football, and that's been the passion of mine, and along with giving us an opportunity to win and be competitive here, it kept us here.
Coach Dennis, introduce us to the gentleman you have with you today.
Yeah, I have Jake Deutsch from Fargo, North Dakota, plays wide receiver for us. Gavin Gerhardt from Valley City, North Dakota, plays safety for us.
And Coach, your thoughts on the merger, being in the Frontier Conference this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pieces that I wish we could take people back to all the experiences we went through over the last year and a half when we first started to hear the disbanding of the North Star and how that all felt for all the remaining schools. And there's a lot of flux. There's a lot of, things for all the universities individually to try to make decisions on where you're going to be and what you're going to do. We heard a lot of rumors. We heard a lot of things that were going on. But somehow all these things came together at a national convention and a year ago, and amazingly came together in the sense of combining all the current North Star schools with the Frontier in a really positive move, and solidifying so many things for us all in a positive way. And Dr. Crawford and what he accomplished and the things he do, I don't think it was a large challenge and a large lift, and it was a really positive piece for us.
Coach, tell me about some of your top returning players you have back this season.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good number of guys coming back offensively, and I start with our wide receiver core. We have very good wide receiver core, a good depth, and our returning starters, Jake Deutsch, of course, is one. Dominic Sotomayor is another. He'll be a senior. Xavier Westbrook will come back as a starter. Nick Mears played a lot for us last year, and then we have great competition in that room right now with some newcomers. So we're excited about that core coming back. Our running backs are the same kind of way. We have a lot of experience in our running back room. Legarius Marshall comes back as a freshman last year in returner. He was injured quite a bit. Probably didn't get to see all of him. We hope we can, he can stay injury free this year. Kuyua Nishigaya, he's a senior this year for us at running back. Marty Goins, a senior for us at running back. And Owen Quayle, all of those guys, played for us some last year and rotated in, and it's a very good core, and we've added a couple additional guys there in that room. So we do have some depth at the running back spot. Offensive line, probably a little bit different. We really, when we look at it, two returning starters, really. Taylor Jones, who was injured last year as a center for us and didn't play at all last year, but returns this year, and he was a starter prior to being injured. Very excited to have him back. Tommy Cox, started for us now for 3 years as a senior, coming back as a guard. Those guys are really solid. Now we have some other guys that are returning, that played a lot. And now we'll have some battles at the offensive line and those rest of those spots on the O line. At quarterback, we're new. We're going to be brand new, and we're going to have a battle there with some quarterbacks coming in for the fall, and excited about that. We returned one redshirt freshman from last year, Ethan Kastner. We have 2 transfer kids that are here now, Kari Rennie and Joey Cave, and those guys are battling for it right now, and we'll see. Hopefully here early in fall camp, you'd hope in the first week to 2 weeks you start to feel who's going to rise to the top and be that guy. So that's kind of the offensive side. Defensively, starting the defensive backfield, Gavin Gerhardt returns for us as safety. Excited what he brings. He led our team in a lot of stats. It's pretty impressive as a safety what he did. We also returned James Don at a corner spot. And then, Khalil Toney played a lot for us last year at corner, and he'll play a lot this year for us and be on the field at a corner spot. Linebacker wise, we have a really good core of linebackers. That Aiden Russell played a lot last year for us in a middle linebacker spot. Malachi Torres was an outside linebacker and played a lot for us. And then, we'll have some battles, but one of the returning guys that we have that we're excited about, newcomer, is Ashton Ricchino. Ashton played here 2 years ago, was a starter for us, and he's chosen to return, and he'll be a big key for us. He was a very good linebacker, and we're excited to have him back. Defensive line really returned 2 starters. Tequez Chapman will be a senior defensive tackle for us. He was an all-conference player for us last year, and very good. And Mosiah Rogers Tabao will also return and played a lot of defensive end and a very solid, defensive end for us.
Gavin, tell us what do you like best about Valley City football?
What I like best about Valley City football is the way we play on the defensive side. It's a full go, and I'm a full go type of guy. I give 100% effort in everything we do. I'm full go all the time, and I just have a motor that keeps going. And the way we run our defense is everyone gets to the ball no matter where you're at on the field. You could be knocked down at the 50-yard line. The ball could all the way down at the 20, and you got to just get up and run your butt to the ball, and that's what I like most about Valley.
Jay, when you take a look at the new schedule, is there a trip you're looking forward to?
Well, for me, I'm looking forward to flying to Oregon. I was a North Dakota kid. I've never really left the state, so I'm really looking forward to taking that charter plane down to Oregon and go compete down there against some new faces and some new schemes.
And Coach, when it comes to travel, it's a new experience. How'd that affect the budget?
I wish I could answer like Josh Anderson did, but it affects us. I mean, there's no question. The university, Dr. Lefebvre and Erica Buchholz, our Vice President of Business Affairs, are becoming my best friends because it does. We need more support to be able to do the things we want to do and travel the way we want, to treat our athletes to the level we want. So it takes a financial improvement in our past budgets to do what we want to do in the frontier, and they've supported us and want us to move forward in a positive way, and excited about how this is going to go for us. So there are going to be some challenges built in. We're going to figure out this year what the actual costs will feel like and what we're going to need to do as we look for the future.
Coach, I have to ask, you're a past president of the NAIA Football Coaches Association. What was that experience like?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Steve Ryan from Morningside College had actually invited me to be a part of the executive committee, and had no idea really what to expect. And I said, am I really the guy that fits in best for this? And he says, well, do you love the NEI? Do you want to see it succeed and be successful? And I said, yes. He said, oh, you do great. So it was an 8-year term, and it was a great experience for me. Met a lot of really quality men, and got an opportunity to grow and experience a different side. It just opens up, a lot of pieces. I think when we sit in our universities and you think about what everybody else has or does, and all those pieces, having the opportunity to go out and experience other and listen to other coaches and what they've experienced at their own university and the things that they're going through really helped me. I broadened not just valuing Valley City State or valuing our current conference, but we have to value the NEIA and how important that is in us the NEIA has to thrive for us to thrive. Like that logo has to be very important to a lot of people, and people having to be able to recognize it. So it was a great experience for me, and really appreciated the opportunity to serve.
Coach, you've been involved in NEIA for more than 3 decades. How strong is NEIA football right now?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I was at Northern State in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and at that time we were an NEI school, and there's a lot of the NSIC, that their current conference that they play in, there are a lot of teams in the NEI, and it took a hit at that time. There's a lot of transition, a lot of change, in the early 90s, and I think from that point on, I think there's a lot of rebounding and a lot of positive change in what we've seen in NAIA football. They stopped the 2 divisions. It became 1 division. I think it challenges everybody to raise their level when you do that. And, I've seen growth, and you've seen really improvement in the quality of the teams and the competitiveness of the teams in the NAIA. I mean, we've all witnessed and seen NAIA teams competing against Division II FCS schools and competing very well and nationally, and those are positive things, and it says a lot about the quality of our football, and to be, and you try to share this with a lot of recruits. For us to be successful, we have to have the same kind of talent level as D2, FCS, high level Division III schools. I mean, you have to have that talent to be able to go and make it in the playoff and make a playoff run. I mean, and because it's very competitive football.
Kevin, what do you like best about your head coach?
He's a great guy. I mean, he's always motivating us in team meetings to push us to be our best. And even on the field, he's always finding ways to motivate us, even if he's not right there to coach us. He's always finding ways to motivate us and find us to push us to be our best.
Dr. Crawford.
I'm going to give Coach McCulloch an opportunity to brag on his new facility as well, the Theraldson Family Athletic Center. What does that mean to Valley City State University, the athletic department, and the community for you, Dennis?
Yeah, it's a huge impact. Like I said, I've been here starting my 32nd year, and we've talked a lot about a new facility. I've seen a lot of beautiful pictures that we drew, like, hey, we could do this, hey, we could do that. And to see it, the start of us digging and building a new facility like that is going to be a change, a huge change for us as we move forward. I think that everybody knows that there's a facility war, and when you're going out after recruits, they walk on your campus, and one of the check marks is going to be what's the quality of your facilities, and that's going to definitely raise our level and attract attention for people. What we hope is they see that Valley City State is serious about our athletics, and we're investing at a high level and want to do everything we can to put the best facilities out there that we possibly can, and that's the image that I want for every recruit. And that's not just football athletes, it's every one of our sports. that they see an investment from our university that we want to be successful. And it takes an investment at a large level to do that. And I hope this is that picture. And it'll be a great addition for us in our football program and in all of our athletic programs, what it'll allow us to do now in practice and in preparation for things that we want to do.
If you would, Dennis, would you just quickly describe the facility and what it will do for not just football, but the entire athletic department?
Yeah, so we're going to have 75 yards of turf, full width football field that you can have in there. A lot that will allow us to play indoor softball. We can play an official game inside. Allows track to practice inside. We don't have running lanes, but we'll have all the long jump pits, triple jump pits, those kinds of things, throw stations, those things that you can do inside, running lanes, all those pieces that allow them to train inside. Again, large enough so baseball can go in and do hitting practice live. They can go in and throw for this. All those pieces are positive. They can't play an indoor game for baseball, but they can do a lot of pieces in there. And it relieves some other facilities, and then it allows to open up facilities. So practice time in the middle of winter here, our current basketball gym is pretty packed with everybody wanting to get in and do something in the gym, and because of it's hard to get outside. And so this will relieve some of those pressures and improve those facility usage from all of our facilities. And so it'll make a huge impact for all of us. And as we move forward, our athletic weight room will be in there, our athletic training room, locker rooms for football, basketball will also be there. So that's extremely exciting for us, as we go and move forward with the new facility.
Jake and Gavin, I'd love to hear you just quickly talk about, I love this motto at Valley City, the we all row. We asked the volleyball student athletes yesterday a little bit about this, but what does that motto mean to you? I just think it just screams team sports. But if you would share your thoughts about we all row.
To us, for the football team, we all row. It's one of our core values we implement into our team in the locker room. To us, it just means equality. No person is greater than the other. We emphasize how you know your role, accept your role, and then you do your role to the best of your ability and respect everybody else's role that is given to them. It's just an equality piece for us, and how every person in that locker room is important to the team and not just the starters.
And I'll continue. We all row also contributes to campus around here. Every student, professor, administrator, we all have a part in building Valley City. And no one's job is greater than the others. No one's job is worse than the others. And we're all in this voyage together, as Coach Mack likes to say. And everybody has to grab an oar, not just one person.
I love it, Dennis. I think it screams of champions of character. That mentality, that motto, that belief is powerful message.
Any questions from the media?
Daniel, go ahead.
Hey, I'm Daniel Shepard. I'm with 406 Sports. I just had one for Gavin real quick. I see you led the team in tackles last year and that you're kind of a local kid there from Valley City. Just to have a breakout season like that last year as a sophomore for kind of the hometown team, what did that mean to you? And then how can you kind of carry that on into your junior year this year maybe?
It means a lot to me. I mean, now I got a lot of young kids in high school and even younger that are looking up to me as a role model and how I play as a player and how I am as a person. And playing for my hometown team, it means a lot to me because I grew up watching Valley City State football on the weekends when I wasn't watching high school football or whatever, or doing something. I'm hoping I can build off last year and have an even better season. I was hoping for second team all conference last year at least, and I got honorable mention, so that kind of lit a fire under me to do whatever I needed to do in the offseason to get better and improve my game and ability to play, so I can at least get second team all conference this year and shooting for first team also.
Did your coach say you play safety? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. How does the defense that you're a part of kind of I guess accentuate the maybe the strengths of that safety group and kind of your position especially.
Can you say that again?
Just how playing in that defense do you, I guess, play to your strengths as a safety? How does that defense kind of help you do that, I guess?
Yeah, so like I said before, I'm kind of a full go guy. And in our defense, and when we're in rundown situations, we're always thinking it's my job to see who can I add to the box to help support the run. Can I add the corner? Can I add myself? And it's kind of allows me to play with some freedom. I play over the top a lot sometimes in the pass, and then in the run I could add myself, which helps me defend the run, or as a switch up I can add our corner. And yeah, it just allows me to play with a lot of freedom, and I got a good sense for where the ball is going to be most of the time, and yeah, that's what helps me a lot.
And then, Coach, I believe you mentioned 2 transfer quarterbacks that are kind of battling for that starting job right now. Could you just mention their names and then maybe some of their strengths as you see them right now?
Yeah, so Joey Cave and Kari Rennie, and also Ethan Kastner, who is a returner for us. You know, I think the first thing that you're going to notice about all 3, they're athletic. They can be a part of the run game, which is a positive for our offense. You know, I think the things that we start to see and what we, some of the things that we wanted to improve on is be able to get the ball down the field and vertical throws and strength of the arms and the things that I think they all bring those things to the table and do a good job of that. I've been very impressed with all of their competitiveness. I mean, they know they're in a battle and they're not stepping down and they're improving themselves each day, working hard and not just on the field, but off the field to learn the schemes and to get into the pocket of Coach York, our offensive coordinator, to know everything they can. And I'm impressed with that work ethic that they brought. It's a true open battle right now. And we're going to, I know everybody, we went with a 2 quarterback system for the last couple of years, which has been some positive pieces with that, but ultimately we want to name somebody, be our starter and move this forward in a positive way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Does anybody have any other questions for Valley City State football? Well, guys, thank you for taking the time to visit with us, and welcome to the Frontier Conference, and best of luck this season.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Rocky, we are back on schedule, and I'm looking to see if we have Coach Stanton. I'm not seeing him on here yet, so let's just sit tight. Have a little dead air time, unfortunately, but that's okay. See you guys. Well, Rocky, we're 3 in, 4 to go.
Got you covered, boss.
Yeah, it's going well. I'm going to text Pete and see what's going on.
Scott, we are here whenever you're ready.
Yeah, perfect. All right, Rocky, our friends at Dickinson State are here, and when you're ready.
We got the pride of Vida, Montana. I like it.
Coach, you're going to be the only person the next couple of days that have any clue where Vida, Montana is.
Nobody else did but me, right, Rocky?
That's exactly right, and I appreciate that. Head coach Pete Stanton is with us, Dickinson State. This is the Frontier Conference Football East Division Media Day, and Coach Stanton in his 12th season, 10 North Star Conference championships, 10 trips to the NAIA playoffs, and no losing seasons. Very impressive, Coach. Win-loss record of 95-29. And I have to ask, of the four Stanton brothers, who is the best coach?
Boy, that's a good question. Probably not me, but you know, the guy at Billings Central's done a great job. No, in all kidding aside, they all did a great job. You know, Jim and Dan did a great job at Miles City, and Rob currently at Billings West coaching two sports. And really, we got that from our dad, who was a longtime coach and school administrator, and Richie Circle and Baker. And yeah, my brothers have had a great run.
Yeah, Jim's on his way up to maybe finishing his career as the all-time winningest coach in state history. Coach Stanton, Dickinson State, many years ago, they were involved in the Frontier. Now they're back in the Frontier. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we're excited. I think we just really like the stability that it's going to bring for us, scheduling wise, and we think it's a great transition and an easier transition for us. You know, as the last several years, we've played Frontier schools. You know, whether it's non-conference and playing Rocky Mountain, and there's a few times we played Northern. We've played Western, and you know, so we have a lot of Montana guys on our roster. We have over 50 Montana guys on our roster. So we also are aware of the challenge. We know it's a tremendous conference and a great football conference, and we're excited to be a part of it this fall.
Coach, introduce us to the players you have next to you.
Excuse me?
Introduce us to the players that you have with you today.
Sorry. To my left is Carson Lunick, who's our center, who's from Havre, Montana, and Riley Waters to my right, who's our linebacker from Sidney, Montana.
Excellent. Riley, what do you like best about Dickinson State football?
My favorite part of Dickinson State football is the culture, the team camaraderie we have, and just the relationships I've built.
Carson, what do you like best about Coach Stanton?
Honestly, I think the best thing about Coach Stanton is he's a pretty straight shooter. So he'll definitely let you know like what we need to do to succeed, which I really like. And he's also one of the only coaches I've met in my career that's the same when you met him on your visit as at practice, which is always great.
Coach Stanton, tell us more about some of your top returning players back this season.
Well, these two guys here are a big part of it. You know, Carson missed last year. He had a leg injury the first game against Rocky Mountain, didn't get to play the first game, and you know, he's one of our returners on the offensive line. We lost a good chunk of our offensive line, so we're excited to have him back. We do return an all-conference wide receiver in Samaj Clark, an all-conference tight end and Gage Gilbert, and we have a good core running back group that played you know, quite a bit last year for us. On the defensive side, Riley was our leading tackler last year. It did a great job in leading our defense last year. We have some of our defensive front back, you know, Wyatt Anderson, who's from Joliet, as a guy that's back. Shell Osborne, an outside linebacker who's from Laurel, Montana, is back. Nathaniel Gillick, who is an all-conference player, is back as well. And then we do return two others in the secondary. So we have 7 returners back on defense, and also our all-conference kicker, Chase Miller, is back as well.
Coach, you look at the schedule. Is there one game that stands out that you're looking forward to?
Well, you know, the first one, you know, is we're always excited, and we always talk one game at a time. We know we're going to have a tough stretch in there are our crossover games. You know, we are playing Northern twice. We're playing them on a crossover games, and then we'll go through back-to-back weeks where we're playing out in Dillon against Western, and then we're playing Carroll at home as well. Then, you know, as we get into the conference season, we get back to really some rivalry games. You know, games we've played Valley City and Mayville in the past. Now we're Montana Tech is a conference game for us. Rocky's a conference game for us. I think Billings, you know, that Rocky's a game that'll be a great one because we're going to be out in Billings, and we always have a great atmosphere when we're playing them out there.
One of the largest crowds that Rocky gets when they have a home game is when they play Dickinson State. The crowd's always big. Coach, automatic bid for both divisions, maybe a couple of at-large bids. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal. I really like the work that you know was done to divide the conference, and I think it's going to be a very good deal. And then having those crossover games really makes it a good deal as well, because you're going to have teams that have played each other. And when you're looking, as you mentioned, a second at large or possibly a third at large, that's going to play out with, you know, how those teams did in the crossover game. So I think that's a really good deal. And say it's going to be a very strong, you know, the Frontier Conference has always been strong, but now you have a 14-team league with 2 divisions, and it's really going to be a good thing for our league.
Coach, you've been around football for a long, long time. How has, you know, the high school football in Montana, North Dakota changed over the last, you know, 25, 30 years?
Well, definitely, and you know, being from Montana and coaching there for 11 years as well, you know, obviously the coaching is tremendous, and in North Dakota too, the high school coaching is gotten so good. You know, I would say, you know, one of the things is the style of play has really changed. You know, as far as it's more wide open, the RPO game, the spread passing game. I think that's a big part of it. And I think one of the other things that's changed a lot, whether for the better or the worse, is a lot of summer things. You know, there's a lot of 7-on-7 things. There's a lot of summer football and things like that. So I think these teams are coming in at the beginning of the year more prepared, and whether it's a better thing or worse thing, because they don't get as much of the summer, but for their season.
Coach, the success you've had at Dickinson State, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think just being consistent from year to year. I think having quality players and quality people like these 2 guys here that are with me, I think that's a part of it. I think the support system that we have here at Dickinson with our fans and with our alumni base has been a big part of it. We have a coaching staff that's been in place. You know, our Coach Thier, our defensive coordinator, and Coach McCarville, our offensive coordinator, have been here for 8 seasons, and you don't always have that too. So I think that consistency and the stability has been a big key.
Dr. Crawford.
I'm going to ask Carson and Riley to talk about what's maybe the one game on the schedule that they are looking forward to the most as we enter fall 25.
Well, I guess for me, since I missed last year, I'm just really excited for game 1. So it'll be great, good atmosphere at home. We get to have all our students there in attendance, as well as all our alum, and just having that. So I'm really just looking forward to game 1.
For me, the game that I'm most excited for is the first one, and just taking one game at a time, growing as a team, and putting out our best football.
All right. Well, you guys are being too shy about the question, so I'm going to throw this out at you. What's the one trip you're looking forward to the most this season?
The short one.
For me, I would have to say I'm definitely looking forward to going back to Northern, so I get to go home and play in front of some of my friends and family that don't really get to make it up here very much. So heading down there will be good to just be around some friends and family a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be a fun time to be back in Havre. Coach Stanton, not only for football, but what does this move mean for Dickinson State in general to be a member of the Frontier Conference again, and how it impacts the rest of your athletic department?
It's very good for us. The thing that comes to mind right away is for years we've been on the far west side of the conference or the far east side of the conference, and for Dickinson State we're going to be more in the middle geographically for that. And if you look at all of our teams, we've played a lot of the Montana teams in the past in a lot of the sports, and we're going to continue to play those teams. But the other thing I think that we're really looking forward to with the scheduling is to have a lot more home games. I think this is a really big thing for, you look at our volleyball team last year, they played their first home game at the end of September, and now they're going to have 11 home games. And I think the other thing that is a really big thing for the Dickinson community is there's going to be so much familiarity with the teams that are going to be coming to town, and there's going to be a lot of excitement. And as I said, not just in football where we have over 50 Montana players, the other sports as well. So the excitement of that, and then traveling into Montana knowing that's a conference game is an exciting thing. So I think it really is a big thing for our university.
Any questions from the media?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Coach Stanton, you talked about Carson missing some time last year, and to have him back, I think you said he's going to play center this year. Just talk about that a little bit.
All about Carson. Yeah, Carson last year was injured in that first game, and that was a big loss for us because we had a couple centers that came in and did a great job as the year went on, but he's definitely a leader for our team. And I think that's why, getting him back, it's tough enough to play offensive line, but also to play center and to be an all conference guy and to be a leader. I think that's just going to be a big piece back for us that we didn't have last year. And we're excited about that.
And then obviously I saw you graduated your quarterback and your running back, Will and Braden. Talk about who you can kind of see maybe stepping up into those roles this year.
Yeah, it two big losses, with obviously Will Madler was our conference player of the year last year. Tremendous player, tremendous leader. It's going to be a tough loss for us, and in particular what he did, off the field as a leader and on the field, and Braden Zuruff as well. We feel we've got three different guys that are competing for that position right now, and Marcus Sanders and Jace Freeze and Hudson Groven from Helena Capital, and those three guys have had a good spring, and we're going to let it play out here in the fall. And we did have, with Braden getting injured last year, we had 2 or 3 running backs that took on that role last year, and those guys all returned. So we feel good about those guys that are coming back.
And then Riley, I know Carson talked about going back to Havre, but you're a Montana guy as well. To be playing some more games in Montana this year, what does that mean to you? And does that kind of give your family a chance to maybe see you in person a little bit more?
Montana guys, yeah, yeah, it's great, to be back in and playing those games there. It's always exciting when we get to go play. Like Rocky mentioned, playing a game in Billings and having the crowds that we have over there. We play great. We played out at Western last year. They're a great football team, great program, and to have a good following out there. And so many of our alumni are out in Montana, and I think it's just a really exciting thing for me personally, and we have a lot of not only a lot of Montana players, but coaches and a lot of people associated with their program. So we're excited. We know it's a great challenge. We know that, but we look forward to the challenge.
Riley, I think your coach said you guys returned 7 starters on defense. Just talk about that group and kind of as you see it kind of coming together so far.
Talk about defense. On defense, yeah, we returned 7 guys. I think we lost some important pieces, but we also got a lot of young guys that have a great opportunity to come prove themselves this season and really stand out in our defense. I think we got one of the best defenses in the frontier, and we're going to come out and compete no matter who's out there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Coach, everybody has been talking about their football facility. I think you have one of the finest in the nation. Tell us about your football facility there in Dickinson.
Yeah, it's a great venue. We have an unreal home environment, and it starts with our tailgating. We have a great setup there, and so we have that atmosphere. And then as you go into the stadium, several suites on both levels that have been sold out for many years. And with the turf field and the good crowds that we get, it's a fun atmosphere. It's something that our players look forward to playing in every weekend. And we're very fortunate to have the facility and the support that we have, because there's a lot of fun.
Dr. Crawford, do you have anything else, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to follow up on what Coach indicated about Dickinson being in the middle of the conference and what that opportunity is. For the general public, they may or may not be aware, but Dickinson State was awarded the opportunity to host the conference championships in baseball, softball, and outdoor track and field. What does that mean to your campus and to your community, Coach?
Oh, it's big. Our community gets behind it. Last year we hosted all three, and we also just built a state-of-the-art softball complex that we think is one of the best in the NAI, and so teams are really going to enjoy coming in and playing there. But we'd had softball tournament games last year where we had 500 people in the stands, and then baseball the same thing. We have a turf field that we have a summer league team that plays here, and a great setup for baseball and then for track as well. So it's a big thing for our community, and we're lucky that we have a committee that comes out and supports it, and then we get a lot of volunteers and workers, and it's a win-win.
I'm looking forward to supporting you in that, and I know it's going to be a great environment for all three of those championships.
Well, thank you, Coach Stanton and Riley and Carson. Wish you the best of luck this season in the Frontier Conference.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rocky, we are still on pace, and I'm just going to take a quick gander here to see if we have.
We are exactly on time.
Yeah. If Coach Sowers is ready to go with our friends at Northern, then we can jump in. I'll see if they put their camera on. I see they're on here. Just again, we'll wait for them to let us see their smiling faces. Oh, there they are. Coach, good to see you.
How we doing, Mr. Crawford?
You don't need to call me Mr. Crawford, Jerome. That's my father, if you really want to know the answer to that question. So. All right, Rocky. Well, we have our friends from Havre ready to go, and when you're ready to go, please proceed.
Well, it's the most famous coaching name in the Frontier Conference, Jerome Sowers, head coach at MSU Northern in Havre. And Coach, tell us who you have with you today.
Well, I have a senior wide receiver, Devin Shelton, here on my right. Devin comes from Frenchtown, Montana, and entering the fourth year. He's in a leadership position, and we expect big things out of him this year. He's really came on some at the end of last year, and we're looking forward to see what Devin looks like in his senior year. And to my left is Braden Klein. Braden Klein is a linebacker from Big Sandy, Montana. He's entering his third year, and he's playing inside linebacker. Both these guys have been leaders in the offseason, and they're doing a tremendous job in our program. So we're excited about the team. We've got a lot of new faces, but these two guys are certainly an important part of our mix.
Coach, tell us about some of your other top returning players back.
We we have, Mike Watkins returns on defense, and Mike ended the year with a game with 5 sacks. He's a tremendous edge rusher. He's he came to us he was a true redshirt freshman last year, and has amped up his game, and we're looking forward to him. He's an outside linebacker edge player, and feeling strong about it. Spencer Leonard's has been our cornerback for the last 3 years. He had 1 year out where he was injured, but he's entering into his senior year and has been a standout defensive back for us. We're excited about what Spencer brings. And on offense, we've got a lot of new guys in the mix. Coulter Wolfstadt at receiver has been a tremendous athlete for us, and we expect him to be in the mix. But there's a whole slurry of guys that are new to the program that will be on our depth chart. We've only completed a couple of practices, so we don't really know exactly what role everybody's going to play, but we have quite a bit of a new slice of a look to our football program.
Coach, your thoughts on the new look, the newly expanded Frontier Conference?
Well, it's I was in the Big Sky Conference. It grew like that. It went to 13 teams, and it always adds a different mix. Sometimes it always just leads to controversy when it comes to playoffs and whatnot. It's great for the diversity of the conference, and you see conferences in today's world, they're growing larger in numbers for stability, and I think that helps us at adding the North Star Brothers to this conference is logical. It makes a lot of sense, and I think at a time when everybody's trying to find their niche in the new college football world, I think it's a good move for us. And so we're excited that there's some new opponents to play. At the same time, we're just getting used to playing the guys that we've been playing that were, they're in the West Side. So, our non-conference starts with a lot of playoff guys, with Carroll and Western and, College Idaho in the first, and Dickinson and all. That's our non-conference first four. So we're going to find out right away where we're at. And the big push right now is to getting our guys into the mold of what we're trying to do, and finessing that, get as good as we possibly can in the first game, in the first segment. But we have to be a team that continues to grow throughout the schedule. Each game we play, learn more about who we are and what we're doing. But I think we're a little more mature. We have an older team. We have more guys that have been here. And, as a transformational program like we are, development counts. And, I look at Devin here, and, he's added 30 pounds on his frame as a wide receiver. And at 230 pounds is very physical. He creates a different matchup when you look at the average cornerback. And Braden is one of the finest athletes that I've had an opportunity to coach. And I think his upside is unseen. And I'm excited to see what he does. He gets better every year. Every game he gets more experience and understanding of what we're trying to do. And I think he has an opportunity to be an outstanding leader, and not just on our team, but in our conference. I feel really strong about these two guys.
Devin, what do you like best about your football team this season?
I like the energy that we bring every day. Seems like we just want to compete and get better. Like, we're all looking towards that first game. Like, we know we got 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to get ready for that and win.
Brandon, I'll ask you the same question. What do you like best about the Lights this year?
I think we're a pretty tight-knit team, and the camaraderie is there, and it's really easy to get along with all the players on our team, and so that it makes it fun to be around. So,
Brandon, is there one game that stands out on the schedule you're looking forward to?
Really looking forward to that first game. That's about it.
That's the right answer. No question about that. Coach, how good is the Frontier Conference?
I think the Frontier Conference is an outstanding conference. There's some conferences or some teams in a conference that are a lot more mature, and they've been at it for over 10 years, and that kind of continuity really plays to an advantage. Through the COVID years, maintaining a roster size, and we've been playing with a lot of freshmen against a lot of 25-year-olds, and we're anxious to see that level out a little bit. So we're as our teams got older, and the competitiveness of the Frontier Conference, hopefully we aren't playing as many 2-year COVID guys as we've been playing. during that year, we lost 42 guys that had that extra COVID year. They left the program. So we really started with true freshmen playing against a lot of older teams. So we have a lot of respect for the maturity of the conference. There's a great tradition, Coach Norris at Western is doing a great job, and he'll go across the board. There's some fine coaches, fine programs. It's very competitive, and we want to be a competitive part of that, and we haven't been. And so year 4, it's a pivot year for us. It's important that we not only demonstrate competitiveness, but we demonstrate the ability to win. And that's a learning process, and we're going to be going against the top teams early, so we're going to learn some lessons early. And we need to carry those lessons into each game. And it's going to be an interesting ending to the conference the way the schedule lays out. So we just need to stay at it each week, believe in what we're doing, get better, and then we'll see what the end of the season looks like when we're done.
Coach, how important was it for the Tillman family and having that new football field?
We are blessed to have a wonderful field. And, Chancellor Kegel has done a great job of putting together the addition, the Aurora complex that's scheduled to build. And I know that the architecture is being laid out, and it's going to be a brand new facility, and honestly will be the crown jewel of the High Line in Montana. And the facility itself will not just facilitate football, but other sports and the general campus. And we think it'll be attractive for enrollment, be attractive to a lot of the schools on the High Line looking to compete, to hold camps, and we're going to be a different program when we have the facility in place.
Dr. Crawford.
Yes, Coach Sowers, would you tell us a little bit about your staff and any changes to your staff this season?
Just about everybody. We've got Dave Sandell's our offensive coordinator, coaching our offensive line. Dave was with us last year. We have a new quarterback coach, Joe Newman. Joe Newman joins us. He played at Wofford. He was an outstanding quarterback, all-conference player. Joe brings a level of intelligence and coaching ability. He's a great communicator. He understands the game. And I'm grandpa's age to these guys, so having some younger coaches really helps to relate with this generation. There's some things I don't understand that he has to help me with. But I really like Joe. He's a great addition to our staff. We moved Zach Brooks, who was our quarterback last year, into the coaching staff. And Zach Brooks is an intelligent player, and he helped us. We wanted to an offensive transition to change our philosophy, and he had to do a great job of leading our team through that. And so an excellent communicator. He understands the game. He's a tremendous young talent as a coach, and Zach's coaching our running backs. We added Caleb Stars, our receiver coach, and Caleb joins us. He came from Georgia, an outstanding talent, and those 4 guys are our offensive staff. And on defense, Dylan Wampler, who played for me 2 years as a linebacker, and to be honest, he's been calling our defense for 2 years as a player, and is now last year was a defensive coordinator, and again this year is his 2nd year. He too is a young, talented coach. Now I like bringing guys into the fold that understand how we do things in our program. And so when you get coaches that understand how we're doing it, it makes a difference in the way that they communicate the message. We're all about this football team, this program, and the way we grow and the way that we develop, and we're in it for each other. And Coach Walper does a great job in leading that. He's becoming his own D coordinator. I've been a D coordinator all my life, and I'm having to step away because I think he's better than me. So I'm really enjoying watching his growth and development. I've had a chance to add Dominic Marino. I worked with Dominic when I was at Northern Arizona. He has our D line and special teams. He worked for me for 4 years, and getting him back, and he's more my age, so he gives us a little more season. We get an older guy with some wisdom on the staff, so it's good to have Dominic Marino, coaching with us. And then coaching in the secondary with me is Cooper Sudak. Cooper was at the University of Oregon, and they're a strong coaching staff. He spent 2 years there, and then he was over in Ohio for a year, and I got a chance to pick him up, and he's a great addition. So he's going to help in the secondary with me. All these guys are young guys. You'll notice we have more coaches than we've had. We're up to 9 now, and it's a growth in our program that we've needed to fundraise for, and we've got it taken care of. So I think we'll be a better staff this year. I really do.
Coach, what do you like best about MSU Northern as a school?
I love the Highland. I love the people. I'm Lakota, so the High Plains are in my DNA, period. I don't mind the cold. I don't mind the hot. I love it. And I love the people that are here. They're tough people. They're people that are loyal. They're resilient. And it's a kind of character you don't see in America very much. We might be one of the last great communities that still exist. And I mean that from my heart. I've recruited all over the country. I've seen a lot of places. I think I'm in the best place in the world. And so that's my opinion. That's how I see it. That's what our program looks like. So we're here to bring, football and pride back to Havre, Montana, to the High Line. And we're going to have a level of toughness that we haven't had for a while. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Any questions from the media?
Thanks, Rocky.
I'm going to jump in real quick. And we do have a question. Daniel Shepard, go ahead.
Hey, sorry, I was late. I was writing something down there. Coach, you talked about the maturity of your team, seeing it take a step forward. Is there something you've seen kind of tangible to kind of make you believe that?
Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Daniel, can you repeat that, please?
You said your teams took a step kind of forward in maturity. How have you seen that happen from your perspective?
Well, it's freshmen turning to sophomores, sophomores turning to juniors. It's development, maturity. If you're in the program, you're developing all the time. The guys that are, football's changed, a lot of transfers, a lot of change in personnel these days. So the challenge is not only just, developing your players in your program, it's blending new talent into your program as quickly as possible. And the way teams are changing, I mean, we had to add 50 new guys, and that's not unusual in this conference, but, it adds a different pressure to your team building, to your camaraderie. Are you able to connect? Are you able to become functional? And I think a lot of times with numbers, you become dysfunctional very quickly. You lose the message, you lose the core of what you're trying to do. Our whole mission is improvement. We want to be the best version of ourselves in everything that we do. We're excited to see that we're older, we're stronger, we've added new talent to what we're doing. We're going to be a different look. It's going to take us a little while to get it the way we want to, but it's a better start than we've had since I've been here. Personnel.
And then at quarterback, who do you like at that position right now? And you mentioned, Brooks is
we have a stable of guys. We're not even close to being able to name that. Same way, we're 5 deep at running back. So we recruited aggressively to those perimeter positions.
Is Mason back at running back for you guys?
He is not.
Okay. And then you talked about kind of Michael Watkins coming on at the end of the year last year. How have you kind of seen him do that, and then maybe take another step forward this offseason?
Mike Watkins is a very passionate player, and sometimes too passionate. And if there's anything, he's got to find that, that every down, that same level of positive energy that he brings. I love the kid. He brings great energy to our team. And, he's not perfect. He's working on his game too, but, he's got a top end that's hard to find right now. And so we'll continue to work on his discipline, his position, and working on his techniques, being able to cover, being able to rush. And I'm just excited that he's not the only one. We got a bunch of guys like Mike now.
And then Braden, I guess I'm curious, how maybe have you seen this program grow since you've got to the team? I think it's your third year coming with the program. Just talk about how the program, you've seen it change since you've been there.
It's actually year 4, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's definitely changed a lot. I think a change in staff has helped a little bit, especially with recruiting. And we've had some good transfers. We've had a lot of growing up to do. And I think a lot of us have done that. And so and I also think we're a tighter team. We're only getting tighter as time goes on. So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Daniel.
We have Johnny Walker. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Johnny Walker with MTN Sports. Coach, I'm curious what you make with the new 2-division format, the 5 Montana teams being scattered across those 2 divisions. You got 2 in the West, 3 in the East. Just what do you make of that?
Well, I got to be honest, Johnny, I focus so much on what we're doing here. I don't have a lot of time and energy to look out there. We don't look at everybody else. We look at what we have here and what we're doing here. And I think it's exciting. We got some different opponents to prepare for. That's always it's always a challenge, and it can also be, interesting how the playoffs will end up playing. It's always a controversy. One conference will say we got two teams that are deserving of the automatic bid, and I've just been involved with that many times. Been left out of it about 5 times. So get right to the edge of that. So I know it's like when you grow your conference bigger and you win 8 games, that doesn't guarantee you're going to be in. So it makes it more competitive. But so the 2 division thing really, it opens it up for other teams, but it'll bring controversy just like it always does. So that's what Dr. Crawford's there for, right?
Any other questions? Well, Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, players. I wish you the best of luck this season in the Frontier Conference.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Rocky. We are sailing. We're doing great. And I see Montana Tech on my screen. We'll see if they're ready to go. Mark, are you there?
Yes, Scott, we're good to go.
All right. So, Rocky, when you are ready, we have Coach Sampson and looks like a couple of student athletes with him. When you're ready.
Well, welcome back to the Frontier Conference Media Day East Division. And we head to Butte, America, Montana Tech. Coach Kyle Sampson, what a great job his program has done. 28-15 is win-loss record. They were 9-3 a year ago. Went to the playoffs last year, hosted a home game against Northwestern of Iowa. Coach, did you really think he was going to make that 51-yard field goal?
It was a heck of a kick, Rocky, that's for sure.
We'll leave it at that. Coach, your thoughts on the newly expanded Frontier Conference?
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. I've been a part of this conference as a player and a coach for a long time, and I think that anytime you can increase the student athlete experience and get opportunities to play different teams and grow the landscape of our conference, I think it's very exciting. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have 14 teams and play some teams you never played before. And obviously I'm biased, but I think this is the best football playing conference in the country, and I think it's only going to continue to get better and better every year.
Coach, introduce us to the players you brought to the table.
You bet. To my left here is our defensive captain, Tell Arthur, a senior linebacker out of Frenchtown, Montana. And then to my right is our senior captain on offense, our tight end, Derek Pierce. He's out of Post Falls, Idaho.
And Coach, tell me about some of your other top returning players back this season.
You bet. I think just starting, I'll start with, both sides of the ball here. Offense, we have 6 starters back, 10 guys that have seen significant playing time. We graduated some very good football players last year. We had a really good senior class. But some guys that have been starters for us, Levi Torgerson, starting wide receiver, was an all-conference player for us last year. Dylan Snyder has been a 2-year starter, but has had some injuries. We get him back healthy. Nick Michelotti started for us last year as a freshman at a Helena Capital. Parker Johnson has been a multiple-year rotational player for us at wide receiver, so very experienced at the wide receiver position. Derek is a returning starter on offense for us here. That's next to me, our tight end. Been a multiple-year starter for us. Was an all-conference player for us as well last year. And then up front, we returned 2 full-time starters. Tom Walkup has been a 2-year starter for us at guard. Shannon O'Brien was a starter for us as a freshman last year at our right tackle spot. And then Chase Meyer ended up starting 7 of the games because of some injuries last year, so he's got a lot of experience as an offensive lineman as well. And then in the backfield, Christian Vetter is a returner that got some carries last year. And then Charlie Kiergan, our fullback, is back as well. Some guys that have experience, Zach Tierney on the offensive line, Jacob Graves on the offensive line, and then Akaika Ho as well in the backfield.
Coach, any coaching changes?
No, sir. That's something that we were extremely excited about. I've got every single one of my staff back, all 8 of us. I've been very fortunate. So I became the head coach in 2020. 6 of my staff members have been with me since day one. And then this year we have all 8 of us back. And I think that that's something that I'm extremely proud of. I'm proud of them and extremely thankful for their loyalty and what they do for our family every single day. I've got a great staff. It's pretty awesome when you can go to work with a bunch of guys you consider your best friends, and I think that makes it very enjoyable. They're great at what they know about the game of football and what they do, but most importantly, they care about kids. I think we have a special staff, and with that comes their families. We've got a great connection with the coaches' wives and the kids. What's really cool for me, I've got 4 kids of my own, and my wife's a huge supporter of our program, and for her to have a bunch of great friends that are other coaches' wives and a bunch of little kids and older kids now too, running around in the offices on the practice field. To me, I grew up in a coaching family my whole life, and it's pretty awesome for me now, as a father, to have my kids really look forward to hanging out with these guys every single day and being around our program. We're a close-knit, very loyal staff, and I think they do a heck of a job every single day, and I'm very thankful for them and what they do.
Derek, this question for you. You open August 28th against Montana Western. Tell me about that rivalry game and what's that experience like?
This rivalry goes back many, many years. It's been brewing a long time. We've been really big rivals ever since I've been here, and the games are always close. As a team, we're really excited to have them in our backyard for the first game. We're just looking forward to it every day, just working forward in practice.
Derek, how do you best describe the Montana Tech football program?
It's something we preach every day is we're just one big family. All the guys come in here and we're always super close. All these guys in the team are my brothers, and they're going to be my brothers for life. So I just describe us as one big family.
Is it Tell?
Yes, sir.
Tell me your thoughts on how do you best sum up Ordigger football this season?
We're going to be a close-knit, hard-nosed group that we're never going to quit. We're always going to fight in everything we do. Just kind of, as Derek said, just a family. Just make sure we're the tightest knit, closest team in the conference, and that'll take us a long way.
Coach, this year, 2 divisions in the Frontier, expanded 2 guarantees, positions in the postseason, maybe an at-large berth or 2. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that anytime that is, in our conference, I'm a big believer that our conference should have 3 or 4 teams in every single year. With the amount of great programs. You look at the beginning of our schedule, we're probably, the rankings haven't came out yet, but I would imagine out of the first 5 games we're going to play, 4 of those teams are probably going to be ranked in the preseason top 25. And there was a time last year where we had 5 teams in our conference, and that was before the expansion, where we had 5 teams in the top 25 in the country. And I think that's something that we're all proud of. I know that, like I said, for myself, I've been around this conference for a long time, and there's damn good football here. There's great coaches, there's great players, and people take a lot of pride in the Frontier Conference. And then the expansion, I think anytime that we can get 2 automatic bids is a big deal, because then I believe hopefully then that is going to turn into 3 and 4 of our teams going into the playoffs every year. And so I'm excited about it. I think it's new. It's going to be different for sure. But it's a lot different than the days when I was playing, where you played every team twice. And that's tough. It's tough to play everybody twice every single year. So I think anytime we can get to the point where, we're not playing teams twice, I think that's a great thing. And it's also a good experience for the student athletes to give them an opportunity to play different teams, travel to different places. And I think it'll be a lot of fun, and we're excited. We're excited for sure.
Derek, what do you like best about Butte?
I love the culture of the town. It's a very welcoming place. The whole town supports us very well. Everyone always seems to show up for games on Saturdays and give us their support, which I really appreciate, and I know this whole team appreciates.
Describe a home game atmosphere at Montana Tech.
Oh man, especially the Copper game. It's great. Tons of fans. They're always so supportive. It gets pretty rowdy too, which is fun. Everybody all around the stadium, everybody in the stadium at the tailgates, everybody's fired up for the Digs.
Dr. Crawford, what's on your mind?
Well, I got plenty on my mind, but I'm curious. Don't like looking in the past, but how do you replace the battering ram from Charlo that was in your program the last few years?
Yeah, Lander Smith was a tremendous football player for us, a great leader, one of the best backs that I've been around, and one of the toughest guys I've been around. And so I think that we're excited about the guys that are going to step up to replace him. But I also know that a guy like that comes around, maybe every 10 years when you're coaching. And he had a great career for us, obviously an All-American running back for us last year. But we're excited, and I think that's what's cool about coaching, right? Is when you got great players and they move on, and he's doing a great thing now, and working, and but now you got to find the next guy that's going to step up, and I think that's it's always a little bit stressful to find that next guy, but at the same time it's exciting as a coach, and it's a big challenge to have guys step up and fill those shoes that our graduating class had last year.
I'll follow up with, what is the value of a Montana Tech education for your student athletes?
Yeah, I think that it's very important, and these guys that are sitting next to me could speak on that even more than I can. But these guys come here to get a great education and give them an opportunity to have a great career. And I think our school does a great job of preparing these guys in their fields of study, but also as leaders for the future of our country. And it's pretty cool, and I think that's what's special about the Frontier Conference, the NEI. I think we're one of the last football playing leagues that truly guys come here because they love the game of football and because they want to get a great education. I think that, and everybody has their own opinions on those things, but guys aren't coming to Montana Tech to get paid millions of dollars to play this game. They play it because they love it and they want to get a great education that's going to set them up to have a great career and to be able to provide for their families in the future. And I think that's something that we're really proud of here.
Kyle, tell me, what does Bob Green mean to the program, and what's the best advice he's given you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I've known Coach Green for a long time, and I didn't play for Coach Green, but Coach Green recruited me out of high school. I remember him sitting in my living room for a home visit when I was a high school kid. And obviously, he's a legend here. His tradition and the impact that he's had on Montana Tech is kind of indescribable. But for me, he's a staple. He's the leader of this institution. I mean, everybody knows who Coach Green is, but he lives it. He just doesn't talk about it. He's in our building every single day. It's pretty cool for me, as the head coach here, to get an opportunity to talk to him every day. And he comes in and he gives them advice. Some days he's just coming in to kind of talk and BS a little bit. But I think the biggest thing that Coach Green does is his support. And he cares. He cares tremendously. And the things that I've learned for him are numerous, but I think the biggest thing is just his care for his players, not only when they're in his program, but when they've left. There's so many people that have played for Coach Green, and the way that he ties those people into our program and the history and the tradition and the relationships he still has with his players that he coached 25, 30 years ago, I think is special. And the alumni support that we get here at Montana Tech is tremendous, and a huge, huge part of that is the guys that played for Coach Green and the respect and love they have for him and what he does for us. Now, he's been out of the program as the head coach for a while now, but he's a guy that competes and goes and golfs every day, and then he comes back to the Hyper, and we see him all the time. And it's pretty cool. He comes to all the away games, and it's just awesome to be a part of a program where so many people have so much pride in what we're trying to do. I do want to, Rocky, if I could, when I was talking, I talked about the offensive returners. I did not get to the defensive returners, if that's all right. We have 6 starters back on the defense. On the D-line, we return a lot of starters, which we're really excited about. The guys up front, Trey Yates, Zach Newton, Anthony Oakes was an all-conference defensive lineman for us last year, and then Wyatt DeVos. So we have 4 guys that have started up front on the defensive line, which we're really excited about. Tell is a returning linebacker starter for us, and then Kellen Beller as well. And then Peyton Gonzer was an all-conference safety for us. And then some guys that got some playing time last year that weren't necessarily starters: Tyler Kovic, David Lowry, Jace Thompson, Dom Umale. We're really excited about those guys. So excited about our defense and the experience they have coming back, and especially now in Coach Allen, our defensive coordinator's second year. We're really excited about what they can do. And then we're also excited about our returners in the special teams. Ryder Baranowski was a kicker for us last year as a true freshman. And then Chris Garcia is returning long snapper. And then we've added Casey Kautzman, a transfer out of Montana State, that's a Butte native here, that we're excited about to add him to our special teams core as well.
Any questions from the media?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, Coach Sampson, Daniel Shepard with 406 Sports. I was just curious if you could talk about some of the maybe D1 transfers you got. I think I counted 6 or 7. If you could just maybe talk about those guys and maybe some guys who might play right away or can kind of contribute from that group.
You bet. Yeah, we've identified some positions that we wanted to bring in a couple guys to come in and compete, and with a big graduating senior class last year of 26 guys, and we really wanted to bring in a couple guys that can maybe help us right away, and we're excited about those guys. On the offensive side of the ball, at the running back position, Mr. Crawford talked about losing Landers Smith, and we're excited about some guys we have coming back. But we've added a couple transfers in that room. Wakees Johnson and Nate Milanowski are 2 guys that transferred from Mississippi State and from the Miami of Ohio. We're really excited about those 2 guys and what they can bring. They've been with us all summer and have really fit into our team, which we're really excited about. On the defensive side of the ball, we've added a couple guys up front, Roland Trent, and then in the back end, Brandon Shaw and Damon Burns. Excited about those guys, and I think the biggest thing with any year with transfers is just getting them to understand what we're about and our culture, and then having them bring value to us as well. And we're excited about them. I think they're very talented football players. Now we just we're excited to immerse them into what we're trying to do every day on the football field.
Derek, I'm curious. Obviously, you got to be teammates with Logan Kennedy last year. Just maybe advice or something he kind of left you with now that you're going to kind of be taking over that tight end 1 role, I guess. What would something like that be?
Yeah, I mean, Logan was a great tight end for us. Played alongside him for this whole time now. Got a lot of experience and a lot of advice from him. It was really great being able to play with him, but he taught me a lot, which I'll hope to be able to pass on to some of the other tight ends in our room. I think that if you ever get the opportunity to play with a player like that, you're pretty lucky. So I'm pretty lucky to be able to have played with him, but then also, take stuff from him and from his game and, spread it to the rest of the tight end room.
I know you guys led the conference in scoring last year as an offense. Derek, I guess what's something that you guys did well in your opinion that you think can carry over to this year?
I think last year our biggest strength was our balance in offense between run and pass. I think we were really balanced, and we had a lot of versatility across the team. It wasn't always just one guy getting the ball every time. We weren't forcing the ball to everybody. We really were able to spread the ball out and get a bunch of guys with their hands on the ball, and I think that helped us out a lot.
And then Kyle, I know we talked about this back in the spring, but now that it's kind of the fall time, that quarterback battle, what are you kind of seeing there? I know there's, I think the last time we talked, there were 3 guys kind of vying for it. Just talk about that battle as you see it right now.
Yeah, you bet. This is kind of a new thing for us. We've had a 3-year starter at quarterback the last 3 years, and Blake Thielen did a tremendous job for us, and now he's graduated and moved on, and so we're excited. We've got 3 guys that are competing this fall. Jarrett Wilson, Jake Casagranda, and Isaiah Clonch, and 3 guys that all Montana guys. Been in the program for a couple of years, had an opportunity to learn from Blake and our backup last year, Cade, and we're excited to see where this goes, and hoping to have a decision on the starter for our first game here in a couple weeks. They've had great summers. They've been here all summer, and at the end of the day, you're trying to find the guy that's going to be the ultimate leader and lead us to victories. And so I'm excited to see them compete. But yeah, it definitely still is a competition, and we'll see how it plays out in the next couple weeks.
Does maybe being a former quarterback yourself kind of help inform that decision, or at least make it easier, I guess, to figure out what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, being a quarterback and coaching quarterbacks pretty much my whole career. I think that each year is different, and each kid your coach is different, but definitely understand the position they're in and understand what it is to be in a quarterback battle. It's the most important position of all in sports, and so there's a lot of pressure on those guys. But at the same time, they just got to go out and have confidence. And we're, like I said, you hope to be able to name one guy, but if you end up having to play two, that's okay too. And we're looking to see who can be the guy that we feel can lead us to have great success in this conference. We know that's a heck of a challenge. We've got a great challenge coming up in this first game. But I have extreme confidence in those guys that whoever wins that job is going to do a heck of a job for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Daniel. Have a great day.
Thanks, Daniel.
Stuart,
Dr. Crawford, anything else?
we have Stuart Davis from the media that'd like to ask a question. Go ahead, Stuart.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Crawford. Kyle, Stuart Davis, KCAP Sports here in Helena. Really, really proud of you, how you've brought the communities of Butte and Helena together with how many Bengals and Bruins you've recruited over the last couple of years. And so just wanted to talk about how that's impacted the program with getting so many guys from the Queen City of the Rockies.
Yeah. Recruiting is a big deal, and that's something we take a lot of pride in. And our first goal is to always try to get the best kids out of our hometown here in Butte, and then try to get the best kids out of Montana. And that's a big competition. There's great high school coaches in this state. And there's a lot of great coaches in this league that we're competing against. But personally for me, I mean, I'm a Helena guy. I grew up in Helena. I take a lot of pride in being from Helena Capital. But I know how good a football is, in that town. And we've had some great success in the last 4 or 5 years recruiting some very good players out of Helena, Montana. And that's that's something that we take a lot of pride in. And the success of those two programs speaks for itself. And we're really excited about the freshman class that we have coming in. Yeah, I think that anytime, we want to represent Montana, and we want to try to do our best every year to recruit the best Montana kids. And, we feel like if we're going to be the best program we can be, and just because of being a state institution, 85% or 80% of our team is from this state. And we feel like, and I know that I've grown up in Montana and take a lot of pride in being from Montana. But I feel like we can compete at a national level with getting a bunch of great Montana kids that are going to have a ton of pride in what we're doing here.
All right, one more and I'll let you go. The two I want to focus on, I do play-by-play for Capital these days, and Cole Graham and Merrick Mahelish. I know it's hard to burn red shirts and come in as a true freshman. Graham seems like he has that ability, maybe crack that 2 deep. Where is he at as you head into fall camp? And then obviously Merrick, maybe long-term, Gatorade Player of the Year, big plans maybe down the road for him. Where are they at right now in your program?
You bet. Yeah. We're extremely excited about those two guys. I mean, the AA Offensive Player of the Year and the AA Defensive Player of the Year are coming to Montana Tech, and we're excited about that. Right now coming into fall camp, they're going to get an opportunity to compete just like every one of our other freshmen that's coming in. And, we always have a saying around here: if you're good enough, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior, we're going to play you. Now we also don't really count on a bunch of freshmen playing for us. If we did, we probably wouldn't be that great of a program if we're trying to count on a bunch of true freshmen. But those two definitely, they've got the talent to be able to come in and help us early on in their careers. And definitely they're going to get an opportunity to compete. And then, where that goes, I'm not sure in the next couple of weeks, but we're really excited to have them as well as those other freshmen. We feel like this could be one of our best classes that we've brought in. And but at the same time, that's they haven't done anything yet. They've had great high school careers, but we got to produce and we got to get better here at Tech.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck and go Brew.
I appreciate you, Stuart.
Rocky, we have Asher Lind on the from the media who would like to ask a question.
All right, I think I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Hey, Kyle. Hope you're doing good. Just wanted to ask you a couple things before we get off and running here. Could you just kind of talk about this off season with the new expanded frontier quickly approaching? What have you and your coaching staff kind of prioritized getting ready for the newly expanded conference?
You bet. I think that when you're sitting down with your coaching staff in January and February, you're always spending the extra time breaking down each team and trying to get a preliminary, scouting report game plan in the off season. So that has expanded, right? We've got some more teams that we got to prepare for. So we've taken a look at those teams a little bit, not a ton, because the teams that are new in our league, we don't play them till later on in the schedule. Our main focus this offseason has been trying to improve our program. And then obviously we're trying to get prepared for our first game. And so that's been a big emphasis of our offseason is, trying to get ready for August 28th and trying to grow our team. But we feel really good about where we're at. We've had a great summer. The most guys we've ever had here in Butte. We had 70 plus guys staying here working out with us. So that's a big thing. We can really improve over the summer. And now, we got to take that next step. We know that this game is going to be coming quick. We got a tremendous challenge in front of us, and we just got to take it one day at a time. And, it's a big challenge coming into fall camp with 40 new additions to our team. We've got to get them up to speed, really quickly and really just build our team. And I think that, X's and O's and scheme, those are important. But you don't win games because of X's and O's. You win games because of people. And, we're just trying to get a little bit better every day.
Absolutely. And that leads into my other question I have for you. The people on your coaching staff, I remember you tweeted a couple months ago when you officially announced you retained your entire coaching staff, which is a pretty rare thing these days. Could you kind of speak to the importance of keeping everyone on this coaching staff and this family-oriented culture with what you guys are trying to build here? How important was that for you?
Yeah, I think it's the number one thing as a head coach I'm trying to do every year is retain my staff. And especially at this level, it doesn't happen very often at all to be able to do that. But yeah, and I appreciate you asking that because I'd like to recognize those guys. Coach Allen, Coach Dean, Coach Sleeman, Coach Thatcher, Coach Anderson, Coach Torgerson, and Coach Mann. I've got 7 assistants that are with me every day. And they do a tremendous job. And the success of our program is because I've got great assistant coaches. They care about the right things. They got great families. And, I think our players enjoy being coached by them. And for me, I got a bunch of guys that I can trust. And when you're building the program and you're trying to get better every single year and improve, to have that consistency for our players where they're not having to learn a bunch of new things every single year, we're just trying to get better. I think that's where you have an opportunity to go from being a good team to being a great team. And that's our goal. And I think that we've got the right people in place, especially with our staff and the leaders that we have on our team to continue to improve.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, but that's all I had for you today. So thank you very much, Kyle.
Awesome. Thanks, Asher. Appreciate you.
Any other questions? Well, Coach Sampson, Dell, Patrick, thank you. Derek, thanks you for taking the time to visit with us. And hey, best of luck this season. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Rocky, we are right on pace. Our friends at Rocky are ready to go. And Chris just gave us
Is Chris in the house?
Chris is in the house, and he was looking a little casual there a minute ago. He was kicking back and had his hands behind his head, but he's sitting up straight, ready to go.
He's pretty low key. All right, let's conclude the Frontier Conference East Football Media Day with Rocky Mountain College. And Coach Chris, can you tell us who you have with you today?
I've got our starting middle linebacker, captain, returning captain, all-conference player Mason Browning, down from Arizona. And then on my right, your guys' left, the long blonde-haired Trent Nobach, our starting quarterback, who was redshirting last year because of an injury, is back behind center. And so, and he's from Arlington, Washington. But excited to have these guys and get going.
Coach, your thoughts on the newly expanded Frontier Conference?
I think it's great. I think, I've been a part of the executive committee for the NAI for the last 3 years for football. So I've been able to work with Pete Stanton Rocky Larson, Dennis McCullough, those guys out there from the North Star. And I think before we had the best brand of football in the Frontier and the NAIA, and to be able to add those teams and expand to the West and kind of all over, I'm excited for it. I think it just makes our conference that much better. Get to play some new teams, travel to new places. And so we're very excited for it.
Coach Chris, tell us about some of your top returning players you have back this year.
Glad to. We were pretty young last year, and that's okay because they're a year older, and we're excited for it. Starting on the defensive side of the ball right here, obviously with Mason Browning, who I introduced before. Again, at the inside linebacker position, Cade Reynolds from Daphne, Alabama. He'll be a senior for us. Dylan Dynas from Billings, Montana, will be back at safety for us. Trey Smith was a true freshman corner that started for us last year from Phoenix, Arizona. And then kind of working down the D-line, John Aragon has been a starter for us the last 3 years from Southern California. And then Dakota State from Gooding, Idaho. And then Jabari Madison will be playing a defensive end spot for us from St. Louis, Missouri. So very excited about the defensive side of the ball. A lot of guys coming back with experience. We'll rotate a lot of guys like we always do, but very excited for them as they get going. On the offensive side of the ball, obviously to have, Trent back under center is huge, and to see the progress he's made and continuing to grow from that injury he had 2 years ago. We're just really excited to have him back. We're a different offense with him pulling the trigger. Tough Adams at running back ended up starting for us last year as a true freshman out of Helena, Montana. And we hit a home run with Tough. He's a great kid. He's gotten bigger, stronger, faster. He is exactly what, the Frontier back is. Chance Goltz out of Bridger, Montana. He'll be a junior this year and has really, he came in at 205 pounds. Now he's 240 pounds. He's athletic. He can move. He played quarterback in high school. So he's got the brains there. On the offensive line, Derek Staples at left tackle has been a 3-year starter for us from Phoenix, Arizona. Ivan Olivas, he'll anchor the center position, played guard last year as a true freshman, also from the Phoenix area in Arizona. And then at the wide receiver spots, Eric Lira from the Phoenix area as well. He'll be a senior for us. And then Darius Haskins from down just outside of Phoenix. He'll be a freshman this year, but played in 2 games last year, and we were able to keep his red shirt. And so those guys I'm really excited for on the offense and defensive side. And then in special teams, Tyler Anderson has been a 3-year starter for us at the long snapper and short snapper position from Winslow, Arizona. And then Austin Drake from Hamilton, Montana will handle our kicking duties. We're still working through on punt and kickoffs, but they're having a great competition to see who wins those jobs.
Coach, any new additions to your coaching staff?
Yeah, I've got every one of my full-time guys except for one is back. We moved Dylan Barrett on from running backs. He was a graduate assistant for us. He played D-line for us. We were able to keep him around. Guys are sticking around, which is awesome. But he moves into our full-time D-line coaching position. And then we added a couple new young guys. My job as a head coach for those guys that are graduate assistants for us is to get them full-time jobs. Sometimes we're able to do it here at Rocky. Sometimes it's somewhere else. But I think that's the job of a head coach, is get those young coaches ready, prepared for a full-time job. So coaching our corners will be Bryce Hornbeck. Our assistant O-line coach will be Asa Spindler. As I mentioned before, Dylan Baradon moving into the full-time defensive line coaching position where he played for many years and had a lot of success. Kyle Parkhurst will be our running backs coach. And then Keaton Hebner will coach our tight ends. So those guys have all been here for a while, late spring, early summer, but they're doing a great job stepping in. And again, young coaches that are, getting after it and coaching their guys hard and bringing a lot of energy. And so we're excited for them. But every other full-time coach is back. Joe Dunning, our defensive coordinator, has been with me since day one. Teague Bloom, our offensive coordinator, who was a student assistant here. Sam Mora coaching our quarterbacks. Lucas Olson in our secondary. And so, again, it's good. I heard Kyle talk about, being able to keep a lot of the staff and doing those things, which is huge for this level. But all the credit goes to those guys. They're with our players every day, busting their butt and recruiting. They make my job a lot easier.
Trent, what do you like best about Rocky football this season?
I'm excited about our team. You know, we're really bought in, and I haven't been around a team like this in a long time. It started in January after coming off our season last year. It wasn't really what we wanted. But I think we kind of turned our culture around, and I'm just really excited to be around these guys each and every day and hopefully win a lot of football games.
Is coach going to let you throw 40, 50 times a game?
Hopefully, yeah.
Mason, what do you like best about your head coach?
Great question.
Put me on the spot already. I love it. I love Coach Stutz because every day he just gets after it. He's bringing the energy, and there's a saying that we have that's if you're juiceless, you're useless. And Coach Stutz definitely brings the juice. He puts us in positions to succeed. And one thing that I've really loved about being here in this program, and the reason I've been here so long, is that I'm not just a number. Coach Stutz knows me as a person, as an individual, but he also sees me as a football player. So it's good to have both perspectives from Coach Stutz.
From Arizona to Montana, how have you handled the weather?
Well, I've been here long enough that I feel like I'm used to it now. I definitely run a little hot, so the winters haven't been as bad as I thought, and it's been kind of nice. So I'm starting to claim Montana a little bit. I hope you guys won't see me as an out-of-stater, but rather somebody that belongs here. So,
Coach, the schedule this year, is there one game that stands out that you're looking forward to?
Each one of them. You know, we've got a great non-conference schedule. I love that we're opening up against a tremendous College of Idaho team. We have Tech as a non-conference game. Those are always good battles. And then we've got Carroll and Western, and those are, I'd love to see anybody else with a non-conference schedule like we all have in the Frontier. I love that we're playing the Montana schools still, and we're excited for it. But each and every game's important, but we're focused on us right now. We've got to continue to get better, grow as a team, learn our basic stuff, and make sure we're growing as a team before we even look forward to anybody else.
Mason, how good is Frontier Conference football?
It's great. There's competition every week. It doesn't matter who you're playing, track record that they have. They're going to bring the juice, and they're going to come after you. And there's no other way that I'd want to play. Honestly, if there were teams that weren't going to come out and give you the effort that you wanted, there'd be no point in us playing. So I'm just grateful to play in a conference where every week you have to prepare. You have to bring everything you got, and you got to get after it.
Trent, what's it like, a home game of the Rocky Bowl?
I love it. My first start actually was a night game here, and it was unbelievable. It was packed. The field in the bowl was packed, and the atmosphere was great. Yeah, like I said, I love playing here.
Dr. Crawford.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Mason to talk a little bit about his national service. He's been our conference rep with the NAIA's Association of Student Athletes. Take a little bit of time, Mason, to talk about the importance of that and what you've taken away from that as a significant contributor.
Right. First of all, Scott, great to see you again. I had a great time meeting you earlier this year. But yeah, like Scott said, I've had the opportunity and honestly the blessing to be named the Frontier Conference student representative. And I sit on meetings with the national NAIA ASA, which stands for Association of Student Athletes. We meet once a month. We talk about different concerns, different successes that we have at our own institutions and conferences. And I got the opportunity to go to San Diego at the beginning of this year and meet with not just my conference, but also other conferences around the nation. And I can clearly say, and without a doubt say, that the Frontier Conference is the way to be. We have great sports. We have great opportunities. We have ways that we can reach out with our communities, specifically here in Montana, that a lot of places struggle to have those opportunities and blessings. So not only do we have great athletics, we have great academics, and we have great community outreach. So that being said, and I might be a little biased, just a little, I love being in the Frontier. This is the best place for us to be. And I'm looking forward to continue to be in this role and meet with other conferences and meet with the higher ups here at the Frontier Conference.
Well, you are going to be missed after this senior year, Mason. And for those that are watching, that was completely unscripted, but you just see the caliber of student athlete and the leadership skills. Appreciate your service for the conference, to the NAI on that, Mason. I'm going to ask Trent what's the value of a Rocky Mountain College education? And what does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I chose here for, the academics first, and I got to play football as well. I'm getting my master's in accounting, and, I'm excited to see where that takes me. And, we have smaller classes, but that means it's more hands-on learning. Your teachers all know you by name. Stutz does a great job with helping us out, getting us tutors if we need them. So yeah, I think it's just a great community to be in. Everybody knows each other. I'd say we're probably like 70% athletes here. So, yeah, I love being here. I love the education, and I love the team.
We'll get the marketing people to record this, and you can be the next advertisement for Rocky Mountain College. Last question, Rocky. I'm going to ask Coach Stutzrium. Talk a little bit about the opportunity now with the second automatic bid. We have to go to this divisional structure. We've heard from other coaches about the importance of that and the opportunity it actually unlocks for maybe a first or second at-large bid as well. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I'm on the national board for the playoff committee, and I work very close with the coaches here in the conference. I work with other conferences as well, but when we're on Selection Sunday, I'm right there, and I will always fight for the Frontier Conference because I see the product that goes out on the field each and every week. Some conferences across the country think if we've got 4 teams at 7-3, 8-2, that no, that's because we beat each other up each and every week. But there is great football here, and so you get your automatic qualifier from the East and the West. I truly believe we'll get a third team in. I'm going to fight for 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it may be, because I know we can push it and go get it in the playoffs. And so I'm excited for it. It'll be interesting. It'll be new. A team could lose a couple non-conference games and go undefeated on their side of the conference or whatever it may be. But I think you're going to see a lot of teams being playoff ready, playoff eligible. I've seen it the last 2 years that I've been on there. And so the biggest thing is that, they kind of tell us at the national office, hey, you get 8 wins, you're probably in. Especially from our conference. And so coaches have understood that, how we're doing it, what we're doing. But Tim Camp and Pete Stanton do a great job in the ratings committee. And then all the coaches working together on that. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what happens as we move forward with adding the teams from the North Star and then Simpson out in California to really push our brand again across the country.
Does the media have any questions for Rocky Mountain College football?
Stuart Davis, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Crawford. Coach Stuart Davis, KCAP Sports here in Helena, Montana. You briefly alluded to running back Tuff Adams. I covered him in high school when he was at Capital. Love the kid. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on not only how good of a football player he is and he's becoming, but a special young man he is?
Well, I mean, number one, he's a great young man. There, from talking to him, how he grew up, he's everything you ask for and want in a person. And that's what we look for first. Great academics, great on the field. We're going to look at you as a person first and make sure you fit who we want and who we are. But he's a tremendous young man. He works extremely hard, kind of puts his head down and goes to work. And the name Tuff kind of is who he is. And we're excited to have him on the field. But he's tremendous in the classroom. He's a great leader. He's kind of becoming a little bit more vocal as he's getting older. But he kind of sets the tone in that running back room of, hey, this is how we're going to do things. And if you're not tough and you're not practicing hard, then you're not going to be successful here. And so he's a lead by example guy, again, opening up a little bit. But we're excited that the progress he's made, the growth he's made, whether it's in speed, whether it's in the weight room, and just getting a little bit older, right? It's hard for 18-year-olds to play college football right away. And he fell into that and worked his butt off last year. And so really looking forward to seeing his growth this year, but just a tremendous person that'll probably be sitting up here next year or in 2 years or things like that. If we can get him to talk and do those things.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck and happy birthday, Rocky.
Any other questions?
Yeah, we have Daniel Shepard.
Hey, Daniel Shepard here with 406 Sports. Coach, I'm just curious. you talk about tough, but how do you get better in the run game in your opinion? What are some things you have to do better than you did last year, you think?
We've got to move people. We've got to get, we've got to be able to, when we see 5, 6, 7 guys in the box, we've got to get more movement from our offensive line. They know that, to have 3 guys that were in their first games, first years of starting, we've got to continue to grow there. We've added some bigger bodies. We've got to get, it's not just them, right? It's making sure that we've got the right cuts with our running backs. It's everybody, football's a team sport. And so we've been focused on that. Our guys have been working their tails off, since January, like Trent said, in the weight room, on the field, things in that nature. And so we know we've got to pick it up in the run game, and we're going to do that, but we'll still be an offense to kind of dictate what we do based on what the defense gives us. And so we know the challenges ahead. We're going to keep working towards it and making sure that we're putting our guys in the best situations as possible.
I know you mentioned a couple offensive linemen there at the beginning, but who do you see maybe filling out that offensive front for you this year?
This is the first year that I can sit up here and say we've got, 10, 11 guys that are really battling for the spot, for the 5 spots. And that's a great number to have, because especially up front, everywhere across the board, you got to have depth in this conference. And so, I look at guys like Tyler Palm, Alex Hernandez. We've got to transfer in Dylan Post from New Mexico State, Aaron Richardson from Shepherd, Montana. I could go, Cale Passley from out in Oregon, Carson Routhier from down in Arizona. I really feel like we've got a group of guys that we can put out there and be successful, create gaps in the run game, and go from there.
And Trent, I was reading a little bit about your story, but from one of the TV station articles they did about you. Just talk about your comeback. And I know it's been a while since you've played a competitive game on a football field. What's this journey back been like for you?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't tough, mentally and physically. I got hurt in September of 2023, and then we gray shirted that year and then red shirted last year. But, I just took last year as like a learning opportunity. I was in, all the meetings I could be, just trying to understand, I was picking the defensive coach's brain. So I kind of took last year as a learning opportunity, kind of understanding what the coaches think when they call a play. And then I think, it's great to be back out there and physically do it. And that's what I'm most excited about. And, I'm circling the game on September 6th. I'm ready to go.
After such a tough injury like that, why play football again?
I've got that question a lot, and you can only get to play football for so long. You can do a lot of things, and, once somebody tells me I truly can't, I won't. But nobody said, you can't play anymore. So I'm going to keep going as long as I can.
It's good to hear. I'm glad you're back healthy. It's great. Mason, maybe talk about that defense a little bit. And your coach talked about some of the starters or contributors you have back. Just from your perspective, how has the defense kind of come together here, early in the fall?
Yeah, so like Coach Stutz said, we had a lot of young guys this last season, and now we got a lot of people that are starting to understand what college football is like. So genuinely, I feel very confident with the guys that we have on the defensive side. We have a lot of depth. We have a lot of guys competing right now for spots on this defense. Everything is earned. It's not given. So at every position, me included, we're competing and we're getting after it. We have a dark side mentality that, defense kind of gets looked over a lot now in football, but we're going to keep bringing the juice. We're going to keep getting after it and bring that old school defense back to the Frontier Conference.
And then lastly for Chris, you mentioned the committee you're on at the national level. Which committee is that again?
So I'm part of the National Football Committee. So I'm the first vice president. So there's a group of us that when we go to the NAI or the national convention, the football convention, we're working on, are there different rules we want to implement? Are there different things, the playoff committee, are there, how it's going from ratings to, the arcs and talking about the playoffs and things like that, or sideline technology. And so my job's really to, be a voice for coaches and get what the coaches want. We can't let this game get taken out of the coaches' hands, out of the players' hands. I think the NAI is the purest form of college football that's left. We're seeing what's happening across the nation at different levels. These kids are paying to go to school and play football, and get yelled at by us coaches, So, but I'm on that committee. I started 2 years ago, and I'm one of those that I'm not going to sit back and complain about things and then not try to do the best I can to be a part of the change. And so I think that I owe that to our guys, our coaches in the Frontier Conference. So I'm excited to be on there. And it's been eye-opening, the process and how things are run and how things are done as well. But it's been fun to have a voice and a say and to fight for, especially the Frontier Conference.
And kind of in that same vein, my follow-up was, they took the ratings out of the criteria, I guess, kind of reshuffling that. How do you think that'll affect, especially at large bids for the playoffs this year?
It'll be a little bit interesting. I think, they're kind of changing the wording a little bit, but I think I see the process still being the same. When we sit there on Selection Sunday, we go through and we say, okay, here's our automatic qualifiers from across the country. All right, we get those guys. Then we sit back and we go, okay, there may be a pool of 15 teams for 8 spots. And then you start looking at different things of, how does this team match up? Do they have players coming back? How do they, I mean, it's a big discussion, and we have different things we look at. It is across the country. There's people that are head coaches on there. There's ADs on there. There's conference commissioners on there. There's media on there. So we really sit back, because that's the one hard thing when you're looking at playoffs across the country. I'm not able to watch every single game. So we've got to rely on each other, people that are the head of ARCs. And so that's a group of conferences that kind of overlooks it, listens to it. And we do. I got to say, those people on that committee, we work our butts off to put our best teams in the playoffs and kind of go from there. And that's why, again, our Raiders, as they were called in our conference with Pete, Ryan Norse has done it. Tim Camp, I mean, all those guys, they work tirelessly every week to try to put the best rating system together. So it'll be a little bit new this year, but I'm excited for it. And again, hopefully we can get as many teams from our great conference in.
Awesome. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Daniel.
Does anybody have anything else for Rocky football? Well, Coach, players, thanks for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in this 2025 college football season. Thank you.
Thanks, Rocky. We'll see you soon.
Dr. Crawford.
Yeah, just a couple of things. Again, we thank all the members of the media for being with us today for the coverage of Frontier Conference football. Do want to remind everyone that this was the East Division Media Day. We'll have the West Division Media Day tomorrow again at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. We will stream that via YouTube as well. I want to thank again our SIDs for the great work today with setting up these press conferences across the board. I just thought that was an outstanding job, and all 7 of our SIDs with today's Media Day did an outstanding job. I do want to make sure that everyone is aware that the NAI will release its preseason coaches poll on Monday, August 25th, and the Frontier Conference will release its preseason football poll on Monday, August 18th. Again, we thank all for being part of this. Rocky, happy birthday again. Thanks for the great work today, and we got one more tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Scott.